And my ex-wife Lulu, or no, her daughter is talking to her, telling her that there's a kid in the gym that that has family in Mexico that kills people and chops people up for money. And my ex-wife responds by, "Oh, we might be able to use him."
What the fuck?
Exactly. And Mundo just happened to walk by, and he was like, the same thing, basically, like, what?
Yeah.
So you know my cousin? No.
So he's like, whoa. He kind of snapped his head because he already knew that me and her were going through a tougher, very tough divorce. And he goes, what?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We have a very special guest here. Not Chris, because he's been on here multiple times. But we got Chris's pops on this podcast with Chris.
Oh, damn.
After he just lost the boxing match.
Oh, damn.
Chris, how would you like to talk about your loss?
That's how you going off straight at the top, huh? I would like to say that it wasn't an official sanctioned fight.
It was not. It doesn't go on the record.
Yeah. So what I like to say is it was a fun night.
The funniest thing about Chris is that he doesn't take loss very well. Even if it wasn't like a sanctioned fight.
This is a new thing for you to see with me, huh?
Yeah, you did not take loss very well at all, man. Like, it's hard on you. It is not even a real loss because it was a friendly, like probably a little more firmer than regular sparring.
Yeah, no. I definitely, listen, they obviously, decided winner. So obviously, I took the L, you know what I mean? That Pat got it. Pat got the less of me. No, Pat did his thing, man. I think most importantly, man, I definitely wasn't as prepared as I should have been, and it showed. That's basically all it was.
Why did you prepare?
Huh?
Were you just kind of just having fun with it, or like?
Well, whenever when we heard about it like a month prior, and then I flew to Houston, and I also have been working on projects in Houston, and then my buddy and I ended up coming across a dope DP, and we just decided to crank out like 4 sketches, and I got so into it that I wasn't putting time aside to train. I was just like, when I had time to run, I ran, you know what I mean? And I would just run, because that was my dad's whole thing, was like, just make sure you run, And my dad also, if it ain't a professional boxing thing or even amateur boxing, my dad just kind of sees it as like.
No, I took it as, when he told me about that, I thought it was just going to be like a friendly, comedians getting together and doing a sparring.
Bring the mic a little closer to your face.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be like a comedians getting together doing some kind of, charity event, something like that. So I didn't take it very seriously because, I've been around boxing all my life, and I know when it's something that is serious and is sanctioned and I was worried about that too. I kept asking Chris, what's the rules? What kind of stuff is this? I've never heard anything like this. But it turned out to be a pretty good, little squabble there.
Yeah.
So, hey,
you underestimated him.
Exactly. Hey, ain't nothing against the kid.
The kid. Yeah, 100%.
What's his name? Pat. Yeah, Pat. Nothing against Pat. The kid, he
put the work in.
He put the work in, and unfortunately, Chris. You can't make no excuses in boxing, because I've been around boxing all my life. I say, man, this is what you want to do.
At what age did you start training Chris?
Chris started when he was about 7.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he had a lot of fights. Chris has a lot of fights under his belt.
Yeah.
And when I seen him being sloppy in the ring, I'm like, no, that's not.
I disown your ass.
Yeah.
I saw your dad giving you the finger in the corner. He was like, fuck this guy.
Hey, after that second round, I was really thinking about, let me throw in the towel, man. This is not. No.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was definitely.
There's some heavy breathing going on there.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. It was literally like. My cousin had saw it from the live. I had somebody helping me from the gym. She was really nice of handling my live, and so I had people from my followers checking it out and stuff. And my cousin was like, "Bro, it looked like you were trying to bust out old school moves of what you do, but you were just delayed, just off of hilarious. Just being slow, any fly move I was trying to do, it was slow because of how tired I was, and I was just kind of just trying to hit him.
But you know what? That happens to a typical fighter that hasn't fought in a long time, or a fighter that's You know, that's like saying me trying to get back in the ring. My mind's sharp. You know, boxing sharp.
Like I know what you got to do. Yeah.
Physically, I'm not going to do it because my body's not going to be able to react. Hard work will beat talent every day.
And that was a pure example of that yesterday.
Hard work.
And that was a pure example of that. Like
hard work would beat talent all day.
I can't take nothing away from Pat. I'm just myself, bro. I'm kind of just like, Pat, come on, bro, let's get back in it, man. You know what I mean? Like, let's run it back, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't. And my thing is, Pat doesn't even have to. Yeah. Pat doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do a rematch. He could just like take the dub and just be like,
eating him up. He's eating you up, huh?
Yeah, man.
No, man, you'll be all right, son.
You know, yeah, and you know, yeah, and the thing is like, you know, it really is. It was more to me because you know my dad's in my corner. Yeah. You know, it was the nostalgic.
Only flew 5,000 miles to get over here.
Yeah.
when he started boxing at 7, right? For you, is it hard for you to coach your son because you also have like a personal connection with your kid?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what? As a father figure, you know, as a father training his son, I don't care who it is, because I talk to a lot of fathers, and a lot of times fathers live through their kids, and you know, in youth sport or sports,
yeah,
a lot of times you see fathers trying to live through their kids, and that wasn't me. I didn't want him to box. I didn't want my kids to box because I know the kind of sport boxing is, how grueling it is. You know, the training regimen, you know, the physical, mental, the traveling, the ups and downs.
I love it.
and all that stuff that I went through, I didn't want him to go through, you know, but the way Chris started, when he was little, I had a bag in my, you know, I had a little workout deal in my garage, and he would sit there and watch me, you know, hit the bags and everything. And all of a sudden, this kid just picked it up natural, just, you know, and then and at that time I trained fighters, amateur boxers. And every time we went to a boxing show, Chris was like maybe 5, I think before that, 5 or 6. And he would get in the ring before the show would start. He would just get in the ring and he would just start shadow boxing and doing it. Everybody was like, who's this little boy? So even before he started competing, because you can't compete in the amateurs till you're about 8. So even before his first fight, everybody knew who he was, you know, in the Houston area, because every time we had a boxing show and I had boxers competing, he would get in the ring and, you know, and box and show out and everything, you know. So it was pretty cool, you know. But but from in my heart, I didn't want Chris to box. You know, it's something that it hurts me to see my kid, you know, get punched, go through all that, and then if it doesn't go his way, you know, it's just like I take all the blame. I feel like, you know, I am down, you know, but it's nothing like that, you know.
Yeah.
You got to move on.
So for you, like when you were getting coached by your dad, did you ever have thoughts of like, because I always wondered too with like, well, Habib just won, right, today with his father passed away, right?
Yeah.
And there's like this interesting bond and balance that I think like parent and coach has, right? Like, was it hard for you to take instruction from your dad also as a coach and as a father?
No, I thought, well, maybe I think sometimes like, you know, there will be times where, you know, when we were actually competing and I was younger and we were doing the real thing, when we were doing the pads and stuff, like there'd be some times where I kind of be bothering him, like, you know, no, like I like talking back basically.
Yeah,
I would talk back to him sometimes, which, you know, you wouldn't talk back to your coach, you know, but I was talking back to him, you know, as you know, I mean, you shouldn't even talk back to your dad either, but you know, it's just kind of like
you know, father
son type of thing. So there was that, but honestly, man, like I didn't like it when he wasn't training me. Like when there were times where, you know, we had to go fight out of the city and like my dad couldn't make it and stuff, he would have like another coach that like we were together, we had like our team, and another dad would take us, and I did not like my dad not being in my corner, you know what I mean? So for me, I didn't want anybody in my corner other than my dad. So even with this show, I was like, yo, Pops, like you trying to work my corner. And at first he was kind of just like, son, like I don't want, like, he didn't know what this kind of thing was, so he was like, if it's gonna be on some like underground fight club stuff, I don't want to be a part of nothing like that. And I'm like, yo, Pops, I need you, man. I need you, man. I was almost like, how come he don't want me, man? Like,
a little Will Smith action.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, seriously, I thought it was gonna be some kind of, you know, I don't play that. You know, I'm very professional and boxing. It's something that I've done for a long time, and I know the inside out, and I know all the, you know, the regulations, and I don't get involved in any kind of underground kind of boxing, any kind of you know, thing that where somebody gets hurt in the ring, because it's very serious to boxing. Even when you're messing around, even in the sparring session, you can get hurt, have a hemorrhage or something happen, and somebody's got to be liable for that, And whoever's involved in that ring, and if I'm involved and I'm licensed or whatever, I mean, they can come after me too, And so I don't play with all that underground boxing. I just don't. So I just want to make sure, and everything's all legit.
Well, boxing in the last year has been kind of crazy, especially with the in-ring deaths recently.
Yeah.
What was it? I think it's like 2 or 3 just in the past year or so.
Yeah, it can happen at any time, and people don't understand. You can. A lot of these fighters go, and they could be sparring, and they can get hurt in the gym because coaches are not paying attention for whatever reason. They can get hurt, have a hemorrhage, and and they just go home with a headache or whatever. They don't know. They don't go to the doctor. They don't follow up with the pain, and they come back and a couple of days later start sparring, or they might have a fight, and you get hit the wrong way, you're done.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah. I can understand why it was hard for you to see. Were you the one that wanted to stop boxing, or did you want him to stop boxing first?
I think it was what happened. It wasn't Chris's fault. It was more of when his mother and I got divorced, I kind of went my way, and he went his way with his mother. When his mother had the guardianship with the kids, so then it was hard for me to see him like we were seeing before. Yeah, and the training, and then the traveling and all that stuff.
All the circumstances just started adding up, and like it just like started building and building, and then gradually it just started fading. There were times where like I would be crying because I just want to get to the gym. Like I'm just telling my mom or telling my dad too, because there were times where my parents, during that whole divorce thing, it was ugly and stuff like that, and there would be times where I would kind of hold it as like an ultimatum of like, yo, like there were times where I'd be like, yo, Pops, I'm gonna quit boxing, man, if this whole like thing keeps being ugly. Yeah. And then there were times where I'm at home and I'm like, yo, Mom, I gotta keep going to the gym, or like, and it was so many things. And then whenever I got to high school, that's where it was like I had a few fights maybe as a freshman. Those were like my last few fights, whatever. But then once I became a junior, I started acting. I was like, I got into theater and stuff, and then because I never did anything after school, like, because I had to go to the gym after school. But once I got into theater, then I started rehearsing and stuff, and then my pops like went to go. Well, I had a play, and he saw me perform for the first time as far as like acting and stuff like that. My dad was like,
I didn't remember. I was like, I remember when he came up to me with that, I'm an actor. I said, yo, what? Yeah, I'm an actor. And that's when
I did like, Shakespeare.
Yeah, and I went to go see him. My first question was like, how can you remember all those lines? Yeah. It was, you had a long...
So you can't remember your combos in the ring. Huh?
No, it was. I was like, damn, how do you remember? Because I was seeing him practicing. He had like a little thing. It was like a thing of a book like this to remember, and he knew everybody's lines. He's like, he had said, Dad, I got to remember everybody just to be on, on time. I was like, shit, that's crazy. But I was amazed. The first time I saw him, I was like, damn, that's my son out there. And then when he was a senior, he won. You guys won the state championship, right? What is it? What is it called?
We got to the states, but we ended up getting second place.
No, but when you're a senior, you got second place. Or?
Oh no, as a senior, as a senior, we got to regionals. As my junior, we got to states, but I got I won a best actor. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I won
that's
best
what it was.
actor and at regionals, but
yeah. Do you think like I always look at this from like a hindsight, because hindsight's 20/20 for me. It's interesting how like. When you were going through the divorce with your ex-wife, and that caused like a break and a rift in your training, like, do you think that you still would have gravitated towards acting if it wasn't for that break?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Because there was a point where I was living with my dad because of the way the school district was. My dad lived near the school that I still wanted to go to, and so I ended up living with my dad for a little bit. And that even with that, like we trained and stuff like that. I think that was like my 8th grade year, and we trained. And he also was picking up his boxing business as well. And there was also like we've kind of butt heads about it, but like he had his fighters as well, and you know he also, because I think whenever you know my parents split and stuff, and he was doing his own thing, he ended up building a business in boxing and building a business in boxing and getting fighters, and then having pro fighters, and then also like what is it, amateur fighters that were like on the way to be a pro, like, and we were on the same like squad, like, man, like kids that I grew up with, like, you know, Casey, Marshall, Nico, like all these guys that, you know, to me, I'm thinking like I'm at their level, if not better. That's how I'm treating it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how I'm always going to treat it. And, you know, I'm seeing them from hindsight, and they're on TV, and, you know, homie has like, you know, getting these nationals, winning these national competition and stuff. And I'm over here. My mom's like, well, must be nice, you know. I'm like, damn. And I used to call my papa, yo, how come you don't train me like that, man? You don't train me like that. And it was a whole thing, man. And then like we finally had a heart to heart, maybe about a couple of years ago. Like we finally sat down, and my dad was kind of just like, because I mean this happens every year, bro. And I've talked to you about it too. But my dad finally was just like, man, he said kind of what he was saying just now. Like I just didn't want. You know, it's easy to tell a fighter who comes back to the corner, cut up, blood coming out the nose, and all just looking ugly in the corner, and still tell him like, you know, all right, go on, get out there. But for me, what he was telling me, he was like, yo, it's just like hard to just be looking at my son like that. And, you know, but to me, I'm like, you saying I'm a bitch? Like, you think I'm gonna come back to the corner? You think I'm gonna come back to the corner, cut up? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, interestingly enough, because of the Lomachenko and the Teofimo fight, right? You saw the relationship that Teofimo had with his father. Yeah. Right? His father he was crying in that interview. If you saw that, and you could see Teofimo wants his father just to be a father. Yeah. So that there's two sides to that coin, right? Where you have the dad coach, where he's more coach than he is father. And you could see by his behavior how he talks to his son, and how Teofimo was talking about his dad in the interview. It's more like, he was like, yeah, I just want my dad to be a dad. And he never got that, but he could look at his son like he's a fighter. Like, go in there, make these adjustments, get hit again, do it over and over and over. Yeah. But you could see that there's a trade-off. Like, I think that's the hard part. You know?
Yeah. And you know, on the same topic, I seen a lot of coaches that have coach father, you know, their kids, their sons or daughters, and like I said earlier, they're trying to live through their kids. You know, something that they couldn't do when they were young. And a lot of them have never even fought one round in their lives, amateur, professionally. And when I see that, I was like, okay, sometimes in the back of my head, you know, just because you didn't do it, now you want your son or daughter to do it. And when they don't do it, I see him in the corner yelling at them. I see him outside the ring. You know, I seen a father slap the crap out of his son because he didn't do good in the ring. And I'm thinking, how many fights did you have? Yeah. How many times, you know, were you in the ring? You don't know what the kid goes through. And I know what I went through. We win or lose, whatever happened. But, you know, I'm not the type of kid, a father that's going to do that to his son. Embarrass him in front of a crowd, or, you know, just because he's not as good as what you think, you know, he should be. Because there's very, very small percentage of kids, of sons or daughters that make it in the sport of boxing, you know, with that you know, father son trainer. I mean, I can look at one of the best ones was Tito Trinidad and his father. You know, they went to another level. These guys went, you know, but then there was some, you know, look at De La Hoya and his dad. They kind of split up. Yeah, Mayweather, they split up
for a minute, and then they ended up coming back. But that was,
it's hard. You know, it's hard to train your son or daughter at that level. And see, I can talk to a fighter a different way that I can talk to my son, because it's you know, when I talk to my son, he comes back to the corner. Sometimes it gets personal from the heart. Yeah, you know, and I see sometimes when fathers talk to their sons on TV or whatever, I watch a fight, when they're talking to as a son, they talk to him they differently. Now, when I'm talking to a fighter, you know, that I'm training, that it's just a different type of you know, feeling, you know, and that sometimes gets in the way of, man, I don't, you know, I've seen some guys get hit like cold cock, knocked the bleep out. Yeah. And I wouldn't want my son to do that.
This podcast is brought to you by Junbi Matcha. Not all matcha is curated and created the same, and Junbi Matcha stands out above the rest. If your matcha isn't a beautiful shade of green and doesn't have an earthy, smooth taste, then you are definitely not having Junbi. Matcha is not supposed to be bitter. The caffeine boost and health benefits you get from it are the best, no caffeine jitters, and loaded with a bunch of antioxidants. To get 10% off your first order of tins and packets, go to junbishop.com and enter code GeniusBrain. Once again, that's 10% off your first order of tins and packets. Go to junbishop.com and enter code GeniusBrain. So you guys were talking about like a specific story that you guys did on All Deaf. What was that story about?
Well, my dad, really, it's my dad's story. It's my dad got into a little sticky situation with his second wife, not my mom. I always have to clear that up because some people come to me and be like, "Yo, you know, hey, I didn't know about your mom." I'm like, "Nah, it ain't about my mom, bro." It's a little weird that, you know, coming to somebody about that, like, yeah, like your mom. I'm like, no, it wasn't my mom, man. That was
my second
wife, yeah, second marriage. So I said second wife, like you married two women. It's my second mom now. But yeah, no. My dad got into a whole situation, man, in his second marriage. It ended up ending pretty bad, but they were going through a divorce, but she wanted to end the divorce a little quicker and get a little money off of it. So she tried doing some dirty stuff to my dad and tried having him murdered to get...
What?
She had to, yeah.
Bro, yes. Man, my bad. Dude, I really thought we met. I mentioned you, this is
you
good.
alluded to like some kind of weird shit. I didn't know it was a murder for fucking hire.
Yeah, bro. No, he it was a whole thing, bro, because, you know, she was talking to some people in Mexico and you know, it was over her. I'll let my dad dive into it. I just kind of want to get a little, you know, basically the prologue. But yeah, man, it ended up being a whole thing, man. It was all over Houston and the news out there. And then like some random interview in London, and then it popped off, bro. Worldwide. Japan got it, UK, it came back to the US, and then that's when All Deaf, All Deaf also got it like firsthand because I was also working at All Deaf, but you know, other networks, HBO, 48 Hours, Dateline, like ended up being a whole thing, bro.
Oh my God. Okay, we gotta start from the beginning.
Yeah.
How did you meet your second wife?
Yeah.
Well, at the time I had been divorced about 10 years from Chris's mom, my first wife. We had 3 kids together, three wonderful kids. You know, my oldest son, Mitchell, Chris is the middle son, and then me as my youngest. And at the time, I was very involved with boxing. I had been traveling a lot with the boxing and training people. I mean, young cats. And so one evening in 2009, I think it was around 2009, I went out for, you know, I was just hanging out, just feel like going out for a drink. So I went out and to a Mexican restaurant in the suburbs of Houston, and this restaurant turns into a bar like after 10. So I went, you know, and they play salsa music, and you know I love salsa. So I went in there looking sharp, you know. And when I walked in, I saw the dance floor was packed, and I saw this one lady dancing. I was like, oh man, she looks hot. You know, I thought she was Puerto Rican or Caribbean, Dominican or something, the way she was dancing, but she looked nice, and you know, I would keep my eyes on her. Whatever she danced, seemed like she danced forever, and I was trying to catch her attention to go see if she wanted to dance. So, you know, she just disappeared out of my sight. All of a sudden, she walks in front of me, and she steps on my toe with about, it seemed like a 6-inch heel, whatever, man, yeah. Crazy. And I was like, oh my God, you know, I was in pain. So when I get up, it's like, you know, the manly, like, would you like to dance?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Would you like to dance? And that was the beginning, man. We started
my whole move.
Yeah, we started dancing and danced in out of way, and then one thing led to another, and we started dating. You know, we dated for about 1.5 years. She was a mother of 2, divorced, had been recently moved to Houston from Mexico City. And, you know, she told me her story that she moved to the United States for a better life for herself and her 2 kids. She came from an abusive relationship. So she wanted a better life, you know. So we dated for about 1.5 years. After 1.5 years, we got married. The first 3 years of the marriage was perfect. You know, she treated me like a king. Manicure, pedicure, massages.
That's nuts,
bro. It was like the ultimate. She was at the beginning. She was okay with my kids. Chris didn't live there yet. He was out here in L.A. But she treated my other Mia and my older son. You know, she was.
I remember I didn't move to LA until 2013. So like But you
remember, but she was okay. You know, she was kind of
everything. She was always kind of playing the sweet, like, you know, trying to be on the good side. She wants us to accept her.
And that's just
on her best behavior.
Exactly.
She was like, you know, trying to be the perfect.
I always had a little feeling. I was like, I was always kind of just like, she's kind of too nice, you know?
Yeah, and but again, from my point of view, I thought she was the right person.
Yeah.
So we, like I said, married for the first 3 years was perfect. And another a little detail here: she was in Houston with a visitor's visa from Mexico City.
Okay.
So every 6 months she had to go back to Mexico to renew her visa to stay in Texas, and so she didn't like that. It was kind of tough on her. But right after we got married, she got her green card, American. She became a resident of the United States, and things were okay. And then we started having little family issues. Well, especially with their older son, he was a teenager.
Bitch. Oh, my bad.
But you know what it was? Just like when you have kids from and you try to merge families, sometimes it's kind of hard. And the young man, he never really had a father figure, and I was a little tough on him. Not physically, I was just being tough on him because I wanted to grow up to be a man and be a responsible man.
Yeah.
And he wasn't responsible with education, wasn't responsible with behavior. He just didn't give a damn, and then he wanted to be the man of the house. And I'm like, oh, hold up, man. Hold up. There's only one man in this house, and that's me. I put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food in your stomach. You're going to do what I say. It's my way or the highway. It doesn't work, so it was tough with them. That's where I think where the problem started with that the little relationship with that relationship with her son.
She had a little jealousy too, man, because like, my dad, he praises, his 3 kids. Like, I mean, he's still to this day, like, I mean, there's a Facebook post every day about, look at my 3 kids, look at my firstborn. And there's always a post or something that he's always putting up, like, damn, my baby girl, look what she's doing, or this. And then now that he has grandkids, like my sister has a son and my brother has a son, and he's always like that. And so I think that also that when you look at her kids versus us, my dad was always just talking about us, and she's kind of just like, well, what's up with ours? And my dad's like, well, yeah, what's up with yours? Because your kids look like, your boys acting like a little asshole when my kids are out here are the shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's flunking around in school and shit like that, and it's like.
Well, I think that's another issue too. That she started getting a little jealousy with, like Chris said, with my kids. Because she saw that my kids were being so successful, graduated from school, and they were doing their thing, going to college, Chris started doing his thing, and Mia, my daughter, was still going to school and, doing well. And she was having a lot of issues for their kids. But one thing led to another. So it was, we opened up a business together, in the boxing, because I was still involved with boxing. I already had a nonprofit boxing gym, and then and we opened up a big business, a boxing gym, Woodlands Boxing and Fitness, and that gym did very, very well. We were very, very successful financially, and we had a big home, nice toys, motorcycles, living well. Everything was good, So one thing led to another, and we still were having ups and downs, like in every marriage, Things didn't work out. So in the year 2015, we decided, just go our own way, just get divorced. And, no divorce is easy. Divorces are sometimes get a little difficult, but in my situation, it just went to the next level. Because when she asked for the divorce, I said, okay, whatever.
It was her idea.
Yeah, it was her idea because, she, in hindsight, I'll tell you later what I really thought that it was all about. But okay, no problem. We just go through the divorce. We were not going to live together, and we can.
This ain't my first rodeo.
It's like, listen, I did it once before. Yeah. I'm used to this shit, bitch. Yeah. Fuck on out of here.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, I've done this before.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the thing was that she wanted to make it difficult. She wanted everything. Like, well, whoa. I don't know how you guys do this in Mexico. But in the United States, we split everything in half.
Yeah.
She wanted the business, the house, everything. And she just wanted, just me to get, go back to whatever I was doing. I said, no.
That's not how it works.
Exactly. I worked way too hard for everything that we have. And I don't mind splitting it in whatever, but no.
What's crazy is that you're still, like, you're actually okay with half. Like, because most people, they talk about prenups and you leave what I got and you leave what you had and stuff like that. You're like, no, we'll just do half and I'm good with that. Yeah. Like, fuck you. Just get half and that's it.
Sell this house, we'll split it up, do whatever.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted. But she didn't want it, but obviously because now this is when it gets crazy. Let me go back to the year 2000. That's when I had a young man come into my gym named Mundo. That's the real name, but that's the name because he was an ex gang member.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So in the year 2000, a young man named Mundo walks into my gym, and overweight. He didn't want to become a boxer. He just wanted to learn how to box because when he was young, he didn't get the opportunity. He said he wanted to box, but he couldn't, for whatever reason, he couldn't do it, and so then he took the route of becoming a gang member because where he lived in the east side of Houston, that's what's was happening. And at the time he came into my gym, he had just got out of prison. He had been locked up for a few years. He had been stabbed. He had wounded. He had but he had changed his life around, and he wanted to go join boxing to lose weight, just because he loved boxing. So he became my right-hand man. He loved being around my kids. He was a wonderful to you guys.
Yeah, no, he's dope. I think it was 2010, but
no. But I'm talking about when he first came into my gym over there in Texasita.
Yeah, that wasn't 2000.
It was late. It was in the years, whatever. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he became into my life. He was a real close person in my life. So when I moved to the Woodlands area, which is a suburb of Houston where I had my gym, he came back and found me where the gym was at, and we just after a few years of not being connected, he became part of my life again. And then I told my ex-wife, which is Lulu, is her nickname. I told her what his background, and we know how we have met and all that stuff. She was okay with it. She wasn't really okay with him being a gang member and his background and being around the gym because she thought, oh man, what about if he starts stealing from us and all all the negative stuff. But he became a real close family friend.
Mundo's tight, man.
Real close family friend.
Cool cat. Yeah,
so he helped me around the gym, and he closed the gym for me and cleaned, and when on Saturdays when I couldn't make it, he would always be there and close it for me. So one afternoon, this is why we were still going through my divorce. One evening, I wasn't at the gym, and Mundo was there with my ex-wife and her daughter. And my ex-wife and her daughter, they're in my office, in the gym office, having a conversation, and Mundo just happened to walk into the conversation, and my ex-wife Lulu, her daughter is talking to her, telling her that there's a kid in the gym that that has family in Mexico that kills people and chops people up for money. And my ex-wife responds by, "Oh, we might be able to use him."
What the fuck?
Exactly. And Mundo just happened to walk by, and he was like, the same thing, basically, like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, my cousin? No.
So he's like, whoa. He kind of snapped his head because he already knew that me and her were going through a tougher, very tough divorce. And he goes, whoa, you need to, pay attention to me, or be careful what you say around people, or, when you talk like that, because you never know who might be walking up.
Yeah.
So that situation happened, right? So later on that evening, Mundo just waited till everybody left the gym, and it was just her and Mundo and her and my ex-wife Lulu. So he waited for her to be alone, and he walked up to her and said, "Hey man, the little conversation you guys were having in the office with your daughter, is that about Ramon?" And she goes, "Yeah, man." My ex-wife told him, like, "I wish he would just, go away. I wish they would just take him away. I can't stand him, because at the time we were still living in the same home."
Yeah.
And she was like, I just can't make it. I wish they would just take him away. And Mundo, the decision that young man took right there on that spot is the reason that I'm alive today. He told her, you talking about take him away like this? Like he made the pistol sign. Like take him away like this? And she goes, yeah, take him away. And he said, you know what? I got the people that can do the job.
Oh,
slick, smooth.
He told her right there on the spot, I got the people that can do the job. And she was like, she was so desperate that she goes, oh, really? Okay, well, let's talk.
Knowing that, you know, he's a gangster, he has a whole background,
Holy
this and
shit.
that, but he's really doing it like, I'm about to save my, like, he saw my dad as a father figure, so he was like,
yeah, because you saved him.
I'm about to save my pops real quick.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got the people that can handle it. So
that boy slick.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So he and even though that she knew that he knew and that he's real close to me, she was so desperate, like, oh man, you know, he's getting ready, you know, we're getting ready to do this.
And he was also giving her details of like,
but this is what happened. When we talk about details, is like the next day, Mundo, I'm you know, the next morning I'm driving. Remember, I was driving and Mundo calls me.
I was talking about like how he was more convincing to her, saying like, yo, like, yeah, like you go out, you leave Texas that way and I'll leave Texas this way. Like he wanted a piece of the pot too.
Oh yeah.
Like he could kind of persuading her, also making.
Damn, he's good, dude.
He's a professional.
Yeah,
he's a street.
That's what made it more convincing. Not just like I'll get it done. You know, it was more of kind of an idea of like, all right, Bev, we're gonna do this. Like I need a little piece of the cut.
Yeah.
You know, to where she was like, all right. You know?
Yeah, so she fell for all that, right? So Mundo calls me the next morning while I'm driving, and he tells me, hey, Pops, you know, this lady, she wants to kill you. And I'm like, at first I thought he was joking because, you know,
who the fuck is like, why?
Yeah.
We're splitting everything in half. What's the problem?
He likes to joke around. We were like, man, say, Mundo, quit fucking joking around, man. This is not, you know, what the hell are you talking about? He said, yeah, man, Lulu, she wants to kill you. I said, Mundo, quit fucking, what the hell, what are you talking about? He goes, man. Then he explained to me what had happened the previous evening when he walked into that conversation. Man, let me tell you, David, I pulled off the road and I was like, what? I closed my eyes. I was so pissed. I was like, so many emotions going through me. I'm like, what the and then I had to go, I was on my way home and I had to see this lady. So I'm like thinking, what the so me and Mundo, he talked to me and said, look, man, he said, Pops, this is what we're gonna do. This is the what I told her last night. We're supposed to meet. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sit and, you know, I'm gonna take my phone, I'm gonna record all the conversations and see how far she's willing to go with this. And I'm like, shit, all right, man, go ahead and just do what you gotta do, and then we'll see what's gonna happen. And I was like, and then I have to go home and see this lady. So I'm at home, and even though we're going through a divorce, we're still living in the same house because I have a 2-story home. She's living upstairs with her kids and her mother at the time, and I'm living downstairs. So we like living with this tension already in my home, and now on top of this, I know, and she doesn't know that I know she's trying to kill me.
Holy shit. So
I'm sleeping one eye open, thinking like, what the hell is going on here? So
I can't believe you went back to the house. I would have built a tree house. I would have been outside with binoculars like, bitch, you ain't gonna get me. I'm half eagle, ho. Like, I'll perch up here for years.
Real tough. But I was trying to keep it as cool as possible to see, you know, if we was for real.
Yeah.
So Mundo kept having conversations with her, and sure enough, you know, after Mundo would meet with her during the day or whenever they would meet, he would record all the conversations, and then later on, he would meet with me in the evening, and I would listen to her conversations. And I'm like, I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
What was some of the stuff she was saying?
The things that she was saying, that she was tired of how the divorce was going, that it wasn't going her way, that she felt like if I was going to get more than she was, and she was just tired. It was all about money, basically. It was all money. That was it. You know, at that time I had stopped going to the gym. I said, you know, because she felt like she can take care of the gym. So I left the gym. So the membership started going way, way down because I wasn't around. Yeah. So the business was crumbling slowly. So that was on you know, her mind too. Like, you know, I'm not getting the same, you know, we're not getting money like we were used to. And I'm, you know, my bills are all, you know, so everything was just crumbling.
Yeah.
So Mundo tried to get as much information as she could. And this is when it gets a little more crazier. So Mundo one evening goes, hey man, so I got an idea, because he's a street guy. Yeah. I'm not a street person. I'm just a fighter that you know, just happens to be, you know. So he goes, here's what the deal is, Coach. I mean, so Pops, I'm gonna do I'm going to tell her that I got the 2 guys that are going to do the job, because she already believes that I have the 2 guys. And he came up with these 2 names. He goes, I'm going to call one John Boy and the other one Paco. But here's the deal. I want you to go get a track phone, okay? And I'm going to text with her. I'm going to be texting you, okay, in front of her. And you're going to play your own hitman. She's going to think I'm texting John Boy or Paco, but I'm really texting you.
Damn. This boy good.
Fam. This is
I would never think of this idea.
Dog.
Yeah.
Mundo, man.
So he does that. He goes and meets with her, and now before that we practice. Because I don't know street language. I didn't grow up like that.
Yeah.
So he tells me what to text back and forth, and the lingo.
Say the N-word multiple times. Yeah. Say the N-word 7 times in this text. Let's see what happens.
That's not what it takes to be a street.
It's like, I don't know about that, man. It's a little weird. It's like, no, just trust me.
And it's funny if my dad was saying the N-word, and Mundo's like, I never told you to say that.
Because I never said I'm gonna begin the sentence with it. I'm gonna end the sentence with it.
But it was some crazy stuff because he told me what to say, and it was like Spanglish. Basically, it was all it was, Spanglish street language, but it's in Spanglish. So here
El
we are.
Negro.
El Negro.
Mera Negro.
Right.
But that's basically what we did. So he gets in front. He's texting me like I'm Paco and John Boy, so in front of her. So he sends a comment, a text me saying that, hey, are you ready? How much you want for the little toy? And the toy was the key word for the gun. And I texted back, look, I got the toy. I need at least $200 to get it for a down payment. If not, this is it. We need at least $200 for the toy. And she fell for it. She gave him $200 on the spot.
Holy shit.
To start the job. Just for the gun, for the dirty gun. And that's when we took all that evidence, me and Mundo. Well, actually me, because Mundo was, when I talked about, I said, Mundo, we got enough evidence. We have the money. We have her talking. We have all the video. All the audio. I'm going to go to the police. I thought, our own amateur investigation, we thought we had her. So we took it, Mundo goes, oh man, you know what? This is where it stops for me, man. I don't go to the police. I don't talk to police. It's your job now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. So I went to the police, and first of all, where I lived, it was a very middle class, upper middle class suburb. They were like, oh shit, we never had anything like this.
Yeah.
Especially in our suburb.
Yeah, they're like, what in the hell?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Had to be Hispanics.
Yeah. They're like the fucking stereotype.
Jesus Christ, trying to get him out of here.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, they took my information, but they said, look, man, you see what's going on, but we need Mundo. We need his side.
Yeah.
Because we need both you guys' story, and then we see, what we're gonna do. So I had to beg Mundo, and finally he said, okay, man, I'll just go ahead and do it for you. So they recorded, we went and told them our stories, and they had to make sure he talked to himself and I talked to myself, and they matched or whatever. So everything matched. So it's like, oh shit, this is for real. Because the thing was that my divorce was coming up in about a month to be ended. And in one of the recordings, Lulu tells Mundo, look, he needs to die before this date, because if he dies before our divorce is over, because if he dies after that, his kids, if he doesn't die before, her thing was like, my kids were going to get everything. But if he dies before, that day,
the divorce goes through, then they're still technically married, so she'll get everything.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. She was in a hurry. So the police had to act quick. So they brought in the Texas Rangers, the troopers, FBI. They brought a whole group of people. And then they said, okay, we're going to come in, and since she already knows one of the hitmen is John Boy, we're going to bring our own undercover cop to talk to her. So they brought in an undercover cop to talk to her live. Now I'm no longer John Boy.
He's like on the phone.
No, live.
Live.
Yeah, real person.
Real person.
In person.
Yeah.
It's like, say the N-word in the beginning of your sentence and the end of the sentence. That's the only way I'll believe you.
Man, they had, because he played John Boy.
Yeah.
And so Mundo was still Mundo, and then the Paco was just like through text, whatever. But then they were like, okay, you're gonna meet John Boy in a car, and the car.
It was a cop.
Yeah.
The car was hot wired. The car had all these cameras, all different angles.
She had no idea.
She had no idea. It was in the middle of a parking lot outside of our academy. And
that's what they were, and that's when he tell you, look, this is about to happen. So, but we need, because the hit was supposed to be for $14,000.
Jesus.
And then she said, well, I don't have the money right now, but I can give you jewelry. And I can give you.
Are they financing murders for hire? By any chance? Can we run my credit?
I know. That was basically what it was.
I'll give you my son. He's a loser, but he's strong. He can work the fields.
Hey, so she said, she said, okay, I don't have that money. I can give you $2,000 in cash. I'll give you some jewelry, and the vehicle that he drives. When y'all get him. Even the watch, he's nice because I have a nice watch.
Yeah.
Get all that, and then, but the thing is, when he dies, I will have all the money because I will have all the pension, all the insurance money.
Jesus.
I will pay you the rest of the money. But guess whose jewelry she gave him?
Whose?
My jewelry. My watches, my rings, our wedding bands, all that was part of the down payment. Plus from my bank account.
She's sending pictures to the trap phone, the John Boy phone. She's sending pictures of my dad's truck, my dad's jewelry, and all those things, and my dad's looking at the pictures coming in
he's like,
that's some shit. That's my shit,
bitch. She's audacity.
She's sending me pictures like, oh, what do you think about this? Is this, I was like, yeah. She had no idea the whole time those pictures.
It's like none of her own shit.
Yeah, bro.
So sending your boxers, like these boxers are real nice. There's 1,000 thread count. It feels good.
But yeah, that's basically what and then this is when after they had gathered enough information, they had the video, they had the audio, they had the money. And I thought that was it. I said, oh, no, they got her now. She's done. They bring me in to the police department one night and said, and I don't know why it had to be in the evening because I was like, it was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That they brought me into the back and they brought me into this office and they had the DA was there, the FBI. They had a whole group of people on this table. And the DA tells me, Ramon, we just want to talk to you about the situation. I think we have enough evidence.
To know that this bitch is crazy.
What else do you need? Fuck, man. God damn.
Yeah. But, we just want this case to be a slam dunk case. She's a beautiful lady. She has 2 kids. She's never been in trouble. She's known around the community. You guys have a business here. A lot of people know you guys. Y'all here. So we just need to be a slam dunk case. We don't want to go to a jury trial and have a juror feel sorry for her. And then, that's it. So they said, what we're going to do, we're going to take a picture of you dead and show it to her. So I had to fake my own death.
Yeah.
So
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They show them, Chris.
Is it on? You got it on your phone. I know it's on your favorites.
It's wallpaper.
Look at my.
I got it.
Ramon Sosa Married for Hire. You'll see the pictures. So anyway, but he's already before he showed them links. So this is what happened. The DA pulls out a bunch of pictures of actual dead people. People that have been shot to the head, with bullet wounds to the head, and they were all like, okay, they had to pick one so they can replicate it on me.
Holy shit!
Some kind of Hollywood stories.
Yeah.
Movie, and so they said,
I didn't even know they could do stuff like that. That's crazy.
No, you think it's crazy? Now it's going to even be more crazier because they said, okay, we're gonna just take the picture.
What?
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
That is nuts.
But listen to me, David. This is what believe this. So
in the picture, it's for those who are listening, it's my dad inside of a hole. They dug up a hole in a random.
But before you get to that, let me tell you how it happened.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, the DA goes, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna disappear you for 3 days. Nobody can hear. You cannot call anybody. Nobody, because we want her to believe that you're dead. You're gonna go home, get you a change of clothes. Don't tell anybody where you're at. So not even Mundo needs to know where you're at. So and then we're gonna bring you in. We're gonna put the makeup on you, and we're gonna take you to a shallow grave that we already have, and we're gonna take pictures of you, and then show her the pictures of you being dead. So when they brought me in, I went home and I was like, and at this time I was right out of the house. I went and got me a change of clothes. I came back for 3 days, for 3 days, whatever. And then they put me in this room, and then these 2 officers come in with this little kit. And I'm thinking these guys are professional, makeup artists and stuff.
Yeah.
These dudes had just watched that shit 2 days prior, the night before on YouTube.
That's hilarious.
They had just seen that, but like
how to
on
fake a murder.
How to fake a bullet wounds from this little video from makeup from Halloween, basically. And I'm like, oh, you have to be kidding me, man. So
what in the fuck?
Exactly. I'm thinking, and then I know her. She's real good with Photoshop and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, man, she's not gonna fall for this shit.
She's gonna see this and be like, this is fake.
Yeah, she's not gonna fall for this, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, they put on the makeup and everything. They took me out. They had a little, the van, the way they put me in, all blacked out, SUV. They had some cops. Everybody was following us. They took me to this area. It was in the middle of the woods. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, that was my thought when I was driving up there. What am I going? What the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
And so they said, okay, we're gonna get naked down to your underwears. We'll get down to your underwears and get in that and lay down. They told me how to lay down, put my head back and everything. I had my eyes closed and all I hear is the clicking of that 35 millimeter nonstop, taking pictures. I was walking around me taking pictures. And I was just the thing that I was thinking, what I was thinking the most was about my kids. I was like, what are my kids gonna think when they see this?
Yeah.
My family, my mother, my family, when they see this. And I'm like, this is
I was laughing. I wasn't laughing right at the moment, but I'll say like now, like looking at him, like, God, she believed that shit.
Yeah. So they took me away crazy. They took me away to a hotel outside of town for 3 days. They took my phone away. They took the phone away from the hotel room. I was like practically off the grid. Off the grid and locked in for the next 3 days. So. And then they had a security there watching me the whole time, the hotel. Wow. And anyway, the next day they went to my business and did a missing person report on her with a real cop. And he's, and they asked her, hey, this is such and such. I'm here for a missing person report for Ramon Sosa. They haven't been seen, whatever, for the next.
Wait, but they showed her the picture though.
No, before that.
Oh, it was before.
No, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. My bad. The night before that, they met with her. The undercover cop met with her in Mundo in the back seat, and to let her know, they said, look, man, we got the job done. So they wanted to meet with her to prove that, look, we got a picture to show you that he's dead. So she gets in the car and everything, like, no big deal. And they showed her the picture and said, look, man, he's done.
And these videos are online too. Like, they can YouTube it and see the video of her going in the car and the reaction of her seeing the picture.
So when they showed her the picture, her first reaction, she starts laughing like, she thought it was funny. She goes, oh, and the first thing, when she's in Spanish, she said, well, he's not getting up, right? And he goes, no, he's done. He's dead. He said he fought a hell of a fight. He fought one of the other guys. He beat up my other friend, but no, we got him.
I like how they gave my dad a little.
That's tight. They gave you
at least
something though.
Dignity, right? Yeah. I died with dignity. I said I beat the shit out of the other one, but we still put a bullet to the head.
Yeah.
So they got me, right? So she was like, oh, and she started raising her hands like she had hit the lotto.
Get the fuck
She was like, he's about to get paid.
She started pop locking, doing the robot and shit. He's like, híjole de la chingada.
I'm about to get paid.
Yeah.
So
she was talking about his mom. She was talking about my grandma, bro. She was just saying like, oh man, I'm done. Good. Like it's done. Cool.
Yeah.
Like shook his hand, gave him money, all that. Yeah. Man.
So the next day they did a missing person report. They went to my gym and she had no idea. The undercover cops had my gym surrounded, watching her the whole day. My gym was.
This woman is insane.
So they had been watching her. So they, and then this actual officer, two of them show up to my gym, and they do a missing person report on me. Went to the office and she was there in the office in front of her mother and daughter, and asked her about me. And they, remember the night before she was all happy and like she hit the lotto and everything.
Yeah,
now she's worried.
This is also on YouTube as well. The body cam video of the cop coming up to her, that's also on YouTube.
Wow.
Just giving y'all other places to go to.
She's acting like she's worried now. Like, oh no, I don't know. I try to call his sister. God. I try to call his friend, and I don't know where he's at. I don't know what's going on. And then she played it good. Then she even asked her mother, like, Mom, when was the last time? They said, I don't know. I thought it was Wednesday or something when we saw him. Mm-hmm. And the officer goes, okay, Lulu, Miss Maria, you're under arrest for solicitation of capital murder. And they took her out
in front of her mom and her daughter.
Cuffed.
Gone.
And everybody's like, what's going on? And mom's like, what's going on?
Well, the daughter shouldn't know because you talking to the daughter.
But they all acted like they went, whatever, they didn't know. But they arrested her right there on the spot.
Holy fucking shit.
Got her.
That girl is nuts.
Yeah.
She started celebrating when she saw your picture?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Laughing and celebrating. Like,
yeah, bro.
And putting her hands up
that,
like, oh.
That was the shit that really, like, I was like, what the
That's like what she's done. It's like,
fam.
Nobody's
She's
going to look
looking
at that
the
and
picture
be like,
of my dad dead, bro. Like, with a bullet in his head. And she's just like, you sure you ain't going to get up, bro? He's dead.
It's like, I had no idea she could do windmills. Like, she started doing windmills on the floor and shit. Like, what the fuck? When'd you learn how to... You're a b-boy now? What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So it's so much, and then when the way I found out was like when they arrested her, the officers they called me. Well, they didn't call me. They went into the room and knocked on the door and said, "I mean, we got her." They explained to me, and that's when it really hit me. Like, damn, man. You know, I sat on the edge of my bed, put my head down, and I kept thinking about everything. Like, wow, what it came down to. You know?
I mean, you could have.
Yeah, because I didn't know. I didn't know. You know, I didn't know she had a plan B or C. I said, "Oh, I don't know what's going on."
Yeah. So if she actually like contacted anybody in Mexico and shit like that.
So you know, I get in my car and I'm rushing again. You know, I got my phone trying to call my parents. I turn on my car. Headline news in Houston: woman gets arrested for solicitation of capital murder. We will have a news conference at such and such time. It made headline, you know, it was all over the news.
Holy fucking shit.
And this is what's so crazy. Another thing that happened is like I tried to call my parents, you know, because I know by this time they already know. And sure enough, you know, when I call my mom, my father answers the phone. And they just happened to be my mom, my sister, my mom, they were house sitting my sister's home because my sister was out of the country. And I hear my mom, you know, those kind of cries you hear at a funeral.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, it's different. You know, so the funeral cry is different.
Oh, of course.
And then she's just, oh my God, wailing. And my father's first thing is like, what's going on? He's Spanish also, you know, because my mom can.
Yeah.
And the way that was explained by my father was like, she had walked in the house to get some water from my dad that was outside, you know, working on the yard. And then when she walked by my sister's, you know, TV, the big screen, she just saw the news that they had arrested my ex-wife. And she understood that I was dead.
Oh my God.
She's,
and then when you called her, she was like, a ghost! She was like, oh.
Yeah. So that's what she understood, that I was dead. She didn't know there was a murder for hire.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was crazy, man. And then after that, it was... But she had one last black card to play, my ex-wife. One last one. Because when she got arrested and she was, after about a month, after being locked up, I was already back in my house. I get a knock on the door from a detective, a lady detective, and she serves me with papers. And she goes, Ramon Sosa? I said, yes. I said, she says, you've been served by Maria Sosa, my ex-wife. She's filing rape charges on you.
This bitch is fucking nuts. She is out of her fucking mind.
Yeah.
What is wrong with her?
That was her last card to play. She had been locked up for a month or a little bit over a month. And she files a rape charge on me, saying that I had raped her when we weren't together. And I was like, and I told her, do you know she goes, oh yeah, trust me, I know everything that's happening. I know your case. I know exactly what's going on, but we still have, you know, because she filed charges on you of rape charges.
I just have to serve the papers, yeah.
Yeah, we still have to go and do an investigation. I said, you know what? Let's go do the polygraph right now. I'll take the test. I'll do it, whatever it takes. This, you know, I told her I was pissed.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, I understand, sir, but just calm down, talk to your attorney, and then we'll come back to you. And sure enough, my attorney, you know, he
was like, this is the dumbest thing.
Yeah, he was like, don't worry about it. I know what's going on. She's just trying anything she can to get out of this, so we'll take care of it.
What
but I didn't take my polygraph, you know, and of course he's not admitted in court, but they you know, it didn't go anywhere. You know, she was just trying anything.
That's fucking crazy.
And
she just wanted to hurt you.
Yeah, and after about 15 months in prison, she pleaded guilty basically to solicitation of capital murder, second degree, and she got 20 years.
Damn.
She's doing 20 years right now, the Texas Women Penitentiary.
What in the holy fuck?
Yeah.
How lucky are you?
Yeah.
And damn.
But let me tell you, I got a book. It's called I Walked on My Own Grave, a true crime story.
You have a book?
Yeah.
I need to read that shit.
On Amazon.
That shit is nuts.
Yeah, and that's where that goes into all the details, and you're gonna be like,
it gets. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't have time to explain everything because it's a long.
Yeah, of course.
But it is jaw dropping everything that happened, and you're like,
it gets
what?
a little too detailed. I was like, I ain't have to know about all that. I don't even know why my dad put that in the book. I'm like, Dad, I know we get down, but damn.
That's like the day I had sex. It's like, okay, what's the case? Hey, man, let's cut that shit out real quick, Dad.
Man, he put some stuff in there. I'm like,
but it's just part of the story, because you know she was a good manipulator, and she knew how to use her beauty, her charm. That
in
was
her mouth, evidently.
Oh God.
Yeah.
This guy, you read the book, you started screaming at night.
Oh my God. I was like, all right, I was there, and I had to like close it. Like, all right, okay.
It was, but it was raw, but it's to the point where you understand like everything.
It was
that
raw,
I went
all
through.
right. I'm sorry.
So it was. I mean, so for her, like in your case, she was a con artist.
She was the perfect psychopath.
Yeah.
She was
She played her part so well. She was like,
yeah.
I'm going to be the quote unquote best woman, textbook woman, massages, whatever, like stuff that goes above and beyond what, any woman would normally do for anybody.
Right.
And then she kind of like got you in this fantasy world.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And what's so crazy is that I would bring, it got to the point where I was so pissed that I would bring it up to her like, did you just get married to me, to become an American citizen, and now that you have you have money, you have a big home, you have everything. So everything was all about money, and but what happened? And she goes, look, and this is what she turned everything around. Look at me, look at my body, look at me. I can get any man I want. I met a lot of men before you, that had a lot more money than you. I don't even want them. I wanted you. I fell in love with you. Then she take it to the bed.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. That is scary as fuck. Did you get remarried after that?
No.
See, that's right. Good move. I would be so traumatized. My palms are sweating right now just thinking about that. The fact that somebody would go that far to kill you. Like,
hey,
what the fuck?
I'm going to give you another little hint that happened. This is all in the book, but this is, kind of, 2 years prior, like in the year 2013, we had gone to Mexico on vacation, because and the thing was so funny that she had details. She was very good at detailing every little place that we were going to be at, how long we were going to be there, and because of course I don't know nothing about Mexico City because I've never been there. So she named all these different places we were supposed to be at a certain time, and how much time we were going to be there. Yeah. So after vacation, we come back, whatever we have, I seen it, and whatever, we come back, and one of the conversation. This is after, of course, to 2015. One of the conversations that she had with Mundo undercover, she tells Mundo that she wanted to kill me 2 years prior in 2013 when we were in Mexico City. And Mundo goes, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, I had it all planned with my sister. And
what the fuck?
And her sister had been to my house. This lady I have, we were like, cool. Her sister had been to my house. She lived with me for a little while, lived with us. Very, whatever. She was like, I was like the nicest person to her family, to her and her sister. So the plan was, and Mundo goes, so what were you planning on doing? And she goes, well, the plan was that I talked to my sister, and the plan was that we were going to have us both, me and Ramon, have us held for ransom, because in Mexico that's big over there. She said that they were going to hold us for ransom.
That's like a normal job and shit.
That's not big. Okay.
No, not normal, but it happens to a lot of people.
I always say that because I know of. I mean, we're just going to sidetrack for a second, but there was a kid. I'm not saying it happens a lot, but it's pretty crazy out there. Just because I used to do Mexico mission trips when I was my father's a pastor, so we used to do a lot of mission trips in Mexico. But one of the things that a lot of locals would warn us was of cartel stuff. Yeah. So that shit's like real. You know what I mean? There's a story that you guys would probably look up online, but there was a kid who was taken for ransom by cartel by this mission trip. It wasn't my church, but it was my friend's church, and this girl went missing, right? Long story short with that, I mean, look it up online. You guys will probably find the story, but they took her and they asked money to get her back. And her parents were like, okay, well, we don't have this money. So they just started gathering money through like the church or whatever, something like that. It's a story that I heard. Sent them half the money. They're like, cool, you get your daughter back. They sent half the kid back.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking nuts, dude.
But what I'm saying is that, but is those type of, especially when they know that you have a little bit of money, and that's how they get, like you said, for ransom. And that's what the plan was. They were going to hold us both for ransom in one of those little locations that she already had marked on her itinerary.
Yeah. She has a vacation itinerary.
Yeah, exactly what it was.
Tortillas, go to the beach and hold Ramon for ransom. Check.
And then dance and then keep going.
Dancing.
And you know what's but David, you know what's so crazy? The little place that she says that supposedly was the ransom place where they were going to hold us up is in a place called Tepito. And Tepito, come to find out, is like the slums. Like the places over there in India.
Like Tijuana and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a slum area where you can find anything. And I said, well, what do we want to go there? I mean, I don't want to go see no slum.
Yeah.
He said, oh, no, it's a place that you find anything you want. It's just a place you go. It's very interesting. He said, hey, I have everything. And I said, what the hell do I want to go see that shit for?
Sounds great.
Yeah, sounds great. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
We have a Walmart back at home. We're good. They have everything.
Yeah. So she went, but I just said, no, I don't want to go there. When we were there, I said, I don't want to go see that crap,
Yeah.
So we never went. Obviously.
And lo and behold, that's why you're alive.
So the thing was that that was the time
she wasn't persuasive, but she's like, "You sure you want to go?" No, I'm good. But aren't you sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
But that was the plan she had with her sister. And you know what? And then Mundo said, "Well, how come you didn't? The sister said that there was when they were going to let her go. The people that were held us for ransom, they were going to let her go, and then they were going to keep me and kill me."
Yeah.
And her sister said, that she said, well, bring him over here. Don't worry about it. People disappear in Mexico all the time. They'll never find them.
What the fuck?
Fuck that, bro.
That's how crazy it was.
What?
And Mundo asked her, how come you didn't do it? And she goes, well, I didn't have the heart to do it then, but now I do.
The heart, bitch, you were thinking about? I've never... Listen, let me tell you something. My fiance has pissed me off many times. I've never thought about killing her once. You don't think about it? Never.
You know what I mean? I'll kill you. No. Let's just think about it now. Then you hear my story like, oh, wow. Let's really think about that.
I'm not thinking about power bombing her on like a couch or something like that where she's perfectly fine after, but never that.
Yeah, bro.
So when did you start seeing signs like things were going bad? Was it right when you guys got married?
Oh, let me tell you something. Right in little red flag that I should have just like, oh shit, no wonder. We got married at it was a small celebration at a courthouse, but it was all dresses and everything. She used genuine, everything. So after a little wedding, her mother walks up to me. She was at the wedding. Her mother
genuine.
She was some. No, you know how she was. She was detailed with everything.
Genuine.
You know what I'm talking about.
Genuine is in them jeans.
Hey,
sorry,
that's how the OG say it, all right?
I just had to make sure. I was like, wait a minute.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about.
My bad, boss. I just had to like.
My English is not good looking. Hey, but check this out. So her mother walks up to me right after we taken our vows. She comes up to me, goes and congratulates me, and just whispers in my ear, "Now she's your trouble," and walks away.
She's like trying to kill her mom and shit too. Her mom's like always holding the top of her drink like this. She's like, "Toast to my daughter, mija. Good luck to you. Don't come."
Her own daughter.
Yeah. Every single one of her drink cups, she got her Salud. Salud. Yeah, fucking híjole.
She's like, "Mom, I got your menu." No, menudo. No. I made it myself.
She's like, "I compré mis." No. We're good. Why does her mom always got her hand over her drink the whole time?
Oh, because I know.
Because I know. That's their problem.
Yeah, man. That was right off the bat. I never forget it when her mom told me, just whisper in my ear, "Now she's your trouble."
That's crazy. Yeah. That's so frightening to me.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta have a talk with my fiance now. It's like, what are you up to, real quick?
Yeah.
Holding my fucking cup like this all the time. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And then sleeping in the same bed, knowing that you're, at the time we were still married. Like, I don't know if this bitch has a plan B or C.
Yeah, because who knows, right?
Yeah. Mundo didn't work. Okay, let me call Paco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a job for you.
Wow. So Mundo's still a part of your life then, right?
Yeah. We're not as close because, like we were before, because after everything that happened to, what happened to me, I just being more closer to my family. There was a few years there where I lost because of her. She put a wedge between my kids and me, especially my youngest daughter.
Yeah.
And I lost that, and you know, so I've just gotten a lot more closer to my family. And Mundo is, although he's part of my family, I would always love, you know, he'd be the reason that I'm alive today. I just don't want him to, God forbid, everything that happens, I don't want to be part that, hey, it was because of me.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of friends that I have taken, you know, kind of part in, you know, kind of being in, just keep my distance. I just, you know, spend a lot of time out with my kids, my grandkids, my parents. So it's.
So what's Mundo doing now? Because he was at the gym before.
Yeah,
right?
no, he's still got his own life. He got a book. Came out with. He's got his own book called My Son Mundo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was I think there was a time like when all this stuff was really, I'm talking about like all over, bro. You couldn't go online without seeing it. There was just a time where it was just kind of, it was just a little weird, like because Mundo was he didn't want to be a part of it. And then he did want to be a part of it, but then he wanted to be blurred out, want to change his voice because he didn't want to like be. Yeah. So he kind of just was like, and my dad, you know, my dad's cool with it. Like my dad, you know, I mean, he's been on podcasts now for like the past 2 years now, like being on interviews and these shows and all these things. And Mundo was just staying low. And so it just kind of just, you know,
he kind of kept the low pro and and he's
keeps to himself,
and then you know he came out on one show and one of those crime shows, and they promised him that they were not going to show his face, and they did. And
what the fuck? What's wrong with them?
Yeah, that was a big issue too, and so he's he's always kept a low profile. Every time we do interviews.
It's a good guy though, man.
Man. Yeah, that was the first person I talked to after my dad called me, because you know normally like I hear from my dad. I'm back in LA during this time. Like, you know, I've been in LA. This was like 2015, and so you know I've been in LA for 2-3 years now, and now like you know I hear from my dad every day, but this time like I haven't heard from him in a week. This whole thing was happening, and I didn't really like. Maybe I thought about it, like, I haven't heard from my pops, but I also didn't think about calling him either. I was just kind of like, all right, well, he'll hit me, whatever, I'm doing my own thing. So
you're not thinking this is happening right now. Like, who would ever think? It's like, oh, of course,
I mean, they knew that I was going through a divorce, but not like, you know, no crazy stuff. Because I had to keep it, that was one of the things that the officers, you know, the undercover had to be, the only people that knew was Mundo and me.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And I had to live with that stress every single day, going to the gym. I mean, and it was crazy.
That is nuts.
She was over here ruined my nonprofit. She wrote a letter to my biggest sponsor, which was a big oil company in the Woodlands in Texas.
I bet you they feel bad now.
Yeah. But the thing was, you know, once they found out what really happened, and I wrote to them, you know, they still didn't want to help because they didn't want their name attached to my situation.
It actually would have helped them out, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not very smart of them.
Yeah, man. My dad called me, and the way he broke it down, I'm thinking, you know, because my dad was just like, yo, where you at? I said, I'm at the house. He was like, son, you got to sit down for this one. I'm thinking somebody died, bro, like my grandma or something. Like, I'm like, oh God, sit down. I'm thinking, you know, who died? Not knowing that it was my dad who died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hypothetically, but you know, he had faked it. But, you know, he broke it down to me, and I was just like, wait. What?
Yeah,
and he said
how do
he
you
broke it
process
down.
This?
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, like Lulu tried to kill me, and he gave me everything, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you know, like I was like, all right, well, where's Mundo at? He's like, you know, he just let me know, like, you know, you can call him, just call him up, this and that. Call Mundo, man. I was just like, bro. Thank you, bro. Like, thank you so much, man. You saved my dad's life, man. Like, I was just like, and then Mundo was just like, hey, man, like, I see y'all as my fam. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a dad to me, and y'all like my bros, and I just, you know, want to look out, you know, like he was like, his biggest thing, he said, I was thinking about your dad's dad, like Ramon Sr., you know, he was like, I was thinking about him, man, and I was just like, man, like, you know, I can't, you know, I know how much, because my grandpa, he always just pops up at the gym. You know, sometimes he'll come up every day. Sometimes he'll just randomly show up. But my grandpa loves to like be around and stuff. He's a professional wrestler. So like he's been around the ring all, you know, for that professionally. He was on TV, and then there was the whole thing. So like, even when I was training, like when I was a kid and fighting, my grandpa was always there. So like, he's always been in the picture. So, you know, he was just thinking about that, like, man, like, imagine that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he finds out his son, you know, is gone, you know? So he was just like, man, I was thinking about you guys, but then I was thinking about his pops, man. I was thinking about,
he thinks so fast on his feet.
That was so quick for him to be like,
it also makes me wonder, what the fuck was Mundo doing before all this? Like, he knew what's up.
Oh,
yeah.
Right? And what's ironic is that, you know, you think about it 10 years prior, you know, when I first met him, I kind of helped him, you know, turn his life around.
Yeah.
And saved him from the streets and all that, you know, mentoring him.
Yeah.
And here he comes back and saves my life 15 years later.
That's fucking nuts.
And he had to tap into that street life.
That's crazy.
And he had to go back to being a, you know, basically.
So imagine, bro, like all that shit he's gone through, all that shit he knew, all that street, everything.
It came handy.
But it's like for a reason. You know what I mean? Like for a good reason to save somebody rather than killing somebody.
So we're gonna set this up with the fake person with this
and you know, another thing that he said was that, you know, gang, you know, once you're in a gang, you don't rat on anybody. I don't care if good or bad. You know, so he was basically being a rat.
Yeah.
But he didn't say, no, I don't do that.
Probably kill his code a little bit, you know.
But he said, but you're different.
Yeah.
You're different. You know, I don't want, you know, he said, I don't want you to die because he said, I don't know if she had somebody else to do the job. But he said, we don't do this in gangs. We don't talk. We don't do this.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy because I'm a big ass snitch. I don't give a fuck. I'll snitch on a motherfucker super fast, dude. It's like, what the fuck? Are you crazy? I said on this podcast multiple times, you better not fuck up around me. I'm snitching you out, dude.
Right.
I'm trying to protect my life.
You would have heard they're like, oh shit, Ramon, let me tell you what Lulu just said.
I was like, let me tell you, if I meet Lulu, she's like, what'd he say? I was like, let me tell you what fucking Ramon said about you. Just in case. She's over here with the fucking machete trying to get my ass. I'm like, oh shit.
Hell yeah, bro. Wow,
damn, that's
shit,
such
bro.
a life-changing thing. Because he kind of glanced about like something crazy happened to you, but I didn't know it was like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough that I can, you know, I talk a lot about my story because there's so much more than I talk about domestic abuse against men, because it happened in my life. When it wasn't, and
was she somebody who was very like verbally abusive?
Verbally, physically.
Oh, she would hit you?
And you know, there were times when we had, you know, saying, but the reason she was doing it now I know it was because she wanted me to retaliate. And
so she could do something about it.
Yeah, he talks about that in the book. I read that. I remember seeing that in the book. I'm not gonna give him everything there because I know.
No. It's not
they got to read it for sure.
No, but
I saw that, man. She hit him with a little sauce, and my dad had to be like, well, hold on now. Like I
have that. I have a fighter's instinct.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's what she was looking for me to retaliate. Yeah, but she was just wanted to use that against me to basically, you know, put me in prison. Her thing was like finding a way to either get me out of the house, lock me up. She had her son lie about me that I punched. You know, she was just had a whole.
Oh my god!
There was the episode on 48 hours when they did my dad, like the episode about my dad. Now I've heard this story all the time, like and I watch the interviews that he's done on Dateline, all these things and other podcasts and stuff. But on the 48 hours, they showed a clip that I've never seen, and it was a clip of her son antagonizing my dad, basically following my dad outside of the house. He's walking towards his truck, and he's in his like FedEx uniform. You know, he's getting ready to go to work, and he's following him, and he's like antagonizing him, what he was just talking shit, right?
Yeah,
like what was he saying?
It's a little longer story than that. The thing was that this crazy nut, I have a truck, right? Yeah. And when I bought it, I paid for it cash, whatever. And I told her to go get the title of the truck. You know, that's when I thought things were still good. You know, living, you know, the right things were okay. So she never went and got the title changed. That's what what happened eventually. So one morning I'm going to work, whatever, and I get pulled over because I ran a red light. It was my fault. You know, I was kind of in a hurry. I ran the red light. So when I get to the officers come up to me, they take their time in the back. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So when they come up to me, he goes, I see your driver's license registry, the regular thing. And he goes, does this vehicle belong to you, sir? And I said, yeah. Who is it registered to? And I said, what do you mean? Is me, or is it either me or my wife, Maria? She goes, no. I said, what's going on? I said, well, it says here it's registered to Louis Paz. I said, what? This bitch had registered the name into her son's name.
Wow.
And never told me anything. And that's how I found out.
Wow.
When I got pulled over.
But what
so
I'm saying,
the thing was that the kid, when that happened, was that he was trying to tell me that was his truck and he wanted me out of the truck and he was going to call the police because that was his vehicle.
Wow.
So he comes up to me.
So he has I'm watching because it's from his phone. So they have that footage. So I'm watching from his POV or whatever. And bro, I'm just seeing my dad, bro. Like he's on the front seat, door open, and he's just still like not letting him close the door. And my dad's like trying to close it. He's not letting him close. He's like, get out of my car. It's my car. And my dad's like sitting there like he kind of just looked like really, but like
and not only, but they were all recording me. Her mom, his mom, and the daughter were all recording me.
Hard.
They were all in it together.
Yeah, they were all recording.
Did they not go to jail either?
No, but this is what happened. I pulled the phone off his hand because I'm the one that pays all the bills, all the phones. So that's my phone technically. I pulled the phone. So right there on the spot, they call 911. I'm an abusive. I'm enraged. I'm whatever. Like I live in a cul-de-sac. They're like 5 cops pull up. They pull me to the side. They put him over there. They listen to their side of the story.
And then you have the video.
Then listen. No, I don't have a video because I don't have the code.
Yeah.
They took the phone. The cops took the phone because they said, whatever. I tell my story, and then when they come back, they come back and listen to me again and say, well, sir, he's saying that you punched him.
What the fuck?
I said, punched him? And she goes, yeah. He said, I said, where's the bruise? And she goes, I know, I don't see a bruise, but according to the mother and the daughter, they're saying that you punched them and we need to give you a citation for abuse. So I got a ticket for a punch that I never threw.
So I wish I would have socked him then. Fuck.
And you know what I told him? I said, look, let me tell you this. I told him, look, I'm an ex-professional boxer. I have a business that's in boxing. If I would have hit that kid, he would not be standing up right now.
Yeah.
He would not be standing up right now.
Yeah.
And you know what this little fool did? The next day, he went to the gym at night with his little friends. They got drunk and everything. And they got in the ring, and he let one of his friends punch him. And he took a picture of it, and he gave it to the police saying that I did that to him.
Wow. Wait, what did the cops say after that? I mean,
no, they knew it was fake. And then they tried to take it to the she had her attorney. The attorney was saying that all that. You know what they did? He said that when I took the phone away, that's when they stopped the video. And he said that's when I punched them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro.
That is nuts.
But it was, man. But the thing was, when my attorney, took him to court for that case, they never showed up.
Wow.
So he knew it was fake, so they didn't want to take any chance, so they didn't show up.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. I can't believe she divorced you. That's the crazy. You are a man of patience.
Yeah.
God has blessed you with patience. There's nobody that I know in my circle that would have taken that much abuse.
Oh, it was, but like I said, it was manipulation of the mind and that's what I talk about when I do a lot of the speeches, for domestic abuse. That man staying, and sometimes a lot of men that are in abusive relationships, when they are the victim, they stay in the same, for the same reasons that women stay. It can be financial, it could be they're in love, it could be kids.
Holy fucking shit.
All those same reasons, men stay. And it happens to a lot of men, just that men don't talk about it. And that could be a whole new podcast that you have, how men stay in relationships sometimes. And not because they're bitches or because they're less of a man. Like I tell them, you're not a bitch, you're not less of a man. Because you want your relationship to work.
See, that's so interesting because I've never thought about domestic violence the other way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody does. A lot of people don't, and it happens more than most people think.
Because we only think about it in the way of the male is physically stronger,
exactly, right.
But there's other stuff like mental abuse and manipulation.
Exactly. Threats. I'll take my kids, and you'll never see your kids again.
You
financially,
you can say rape, and it's done.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I tell guys, I give them a little short, story. Like, look, if your wife hits you and you retaliate, you hit her, and the cops come, who are they going to believe?
Her. They'll believe her. Yeah.
Most of the time, 9 out of 10, they're going to believe her story.
Yeah.
But they're not going to believe that she put her hands on you first. I'm saying, if a man commits a crime against abusive or against a lady, and he's found guilty, throw the books at him. But when it happens to a lady, you know what they get? Most of them slap in the hand.
Yeah.
There's men that are in prison right now. Right now, there's a lot of men in prison that have been charged for domestic abuse. Not all of them, but I'm sure there's a lot of men that have been charged with domestic abuse falsely, and then, they can't do nothing about it.
I told this story on this podcast before, but when I was younger, there was a dude, not my friend, all right? I just knew of him. But there was a girl that was in a very interesting relationship, right? So she was somebody who was very manipulative, right? And we brought this up during a time where people were saying like, oh, all the time it's like guys' faults, when it comes to like these type of situations. But I was like, I have a couple of stories where it wasn't. I have one story, which I'm not going to go over, but long story short, this girl basically threatened her boyfriend, saying that she was going to go to the cops and tell him that he raped her if he broke up with her.
Yeah, and it happens.
Right? And we were like, yo, this fucking girl is nuts. Right? And so she was threatening him with all this other stuff. That all got figured out, right? We'll talk about that story another time. But this other story where there was a girl who basically convinced her current boyfriend that her ex-boyfriend raped her.
Yeah.
Right. And this guy that was her current boyfriend is a highly affiliated gang member. Retaliation. They executioner style killed this dude in his driveway, like with a bunch of friends, and they shot him right in the head.
Over a lie.
And then she was like shocked that he actually fucking did it, but she's like in jail for life now.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy actually has a lesser sentence than her because she was the ringleader that kind of that caused it all up over her manipulating this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This dude who she broke up with too was the opposite of what she normally dates. Like he's like a really nice guy and he wanted to be with somebody a little different. Lo and behold, he decided to date a fucking hood rat. Like she's a hood rat to the max.
Right.
And he broke up with her because he couldn't handle it. And in her mind, from what I believe, from my point of view, was that she thought she grabbed somebody finally great, right? But she didn't change who she was. She was not a good person. And what he realized was, I can't handle this girl. Broke up with her, and she told her new boyfriend that guy raped her, and then he fucking murdered him.
Yeah, no, bro.
But think about it, David. When situations like that happen, for example, when a woman files, abusive or charges against her boyfriend or whatever, husband. I mean, she calls the cops, and if in some cases they'll take the man and they'll lock him up, and then he's got to prove his innocence. And what happens if you have a job? The attorneys are not cheap.
Yeah,
you might lose your job. You're gonna lose work. So your life is turned upside down over a lie, and now you got to go to court to prove yourself that you're innocent over a lie. And all she gets is what? A slap on the hand, and now you got to start all over. So, for a man, it's fucked up, man.
That's crazy.
It is, it happens more than most people think. That's what I talk about. And I'm not against, any man that puts a hands on a woman or just abuse, any kind of abusive, I have a mother and sister and daughter, I don't go for none of that, but it needs to be the same way for a woman that lie on a man. Yeah. Or the same thing needs to happen to a woman when it does happen to a man.
I think because also too, from a perspective that I've gotten before from somebody else, is that I think a lot of guys feel they don't talk up about it because they feel emasculated.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to go to. We're guys. We don't sit around talking. Oh man, you don't know what happened.
It's like, yo, my girlfriend fucked me up last night.
But it's just what you just said. Yeah. It's the man in us. It's the manhood. Is the man? This guy gonna think I'm a bitch.
I told my dad about my situation. My dad was like, I mean, did she like hurt you? He was like, but did she like hurt you? And I'm like, Dad, she put her hands on me. But did she hurt you? And I was like,
but that's the thing that I didn't. It happens, man. And when men don't speak, it just gets thrown under the.
I mean, I've definitely.
And it needs to be brought up, and that's why I talk about when I do speeches. And I did a speech in London, and I tell you what, man, it was all men. And these guys, I had guys standing up clapping, and after the speech, I had guys in tears coming up to me. It's like, man, you had just changed my life because
they don't even know they're in that situation until you start talking about it.
You start talking, and you're like, you brought it out of me, man. I'm gonna, I'm not gonna let this keep going.
Yeah, like for me too, like in my household, because I think we grew up in a very volatile household, right? Like, my parents used to fight a lot, like angry fucking fighting, breaking shit in the house. Like for me, I hate that shit. And I saw it like I get a transfer of that. Like, so when I used to get angry when I was younger, I used to break shit all the time because I used to see that my parents do that shit as a kid. So from here on out, I'm trying to correct this behavior in my new relationships. And now it's still hard. Obviously I don't get physical, but I'll break my own shit, right? Which I'm trying not to do when I get really angry. But I did have a one girlfriend that, I kind of defined these lines. I was like, listen, we can play fight. Play fighting, whatever, that's cool, right? But when you're actually angry, don't ever put your hands on me. Because now it's a little different, right? Now it's like you're hitting me to hurt me.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I had to sit down and have a conversation with this girl. And I said, hey, I play fight. That's fine. That's what we do. Like Korean people, we like playing fight, and that's just how we are, right? I was like, but the moment you touch me and you're angry, I was like, there's no conversation. I get up. I don't speak to you ever again. I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle that, right? Because you can't just start wailing on me because, I'm the weak girl, but I'm over here. I'm getting kicked upside the head, and because you think that you're the weak girl and it's okay.
Yeah.
But you can't put your hands on me. Because mind you, if it was the other way around, I was angry. I just slapped you upside your head. What am I now? You know what I mean? And I said, like, for me, and it's so interesting, like when I look back at it now, it's like that was the reason. I told him, like, I can't do that. You can't put your hands on me. And then I'm just supposed to smile about it. After you just kick me in my stomach and then, you slap me upside my head. Because if it was the other way around, I'd be in jail like that.
Oh, yeah. The retaliation, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective, David, look, let me tell you a little fact here. Shelters for women, that are being abused, or this women's shelter in particular, there's over 2,000 or 3,000 in the whole United States. Shelters for men, 2.
Wow.
Damn.
That's crazy.
So if a man needs help, that because he's in a situation,
you got to head to Wyoming.
You know what?
Go to Kanye's crib.
I know, that's what you got to do. You got to go to a Puritan state.
That gives you perspective on what society thinks about men that are abused.
That's nuts. And it's interesting because that perspective is so interesting because it's like, what can a guy do when a girl gets hyper physical? Like, you just got to sit there and just get socked in the face.
No.
I think a lot of guys perspectively, they go, you could just hold them down. I was like, but you hold somebody down, they get bruised on their arm or this and that.
You're telling me she used that on me. She scratched herself. She had all kind of bruises. She would do all kind of bruises, scratches on her, and then take pictures and then use them as evidence against me.
And she just had like this mental lock on you.
She tried so much. Yeah. She had a whole game plan, but then nothing worked. So that was part of the divorce. Nothing worked. So you know what? Damn it. Let's go to the
She didn't know God blessed you with patience. She was like, this motherfucker's insane. He's so patient.
She was like, okay, about this. Let's pull the murder case. The murder for hire.
That's so nuts that you are such a patient human being that she had to just murder you. Yeah. That is crazy.
Exactly what it boiled down to.
She's like, you know what? This guy right here, I pulled every fucking trick in the book, and nothing is working, so I just had to kill him.
I admire his patience, man. I be trying to look like,
I thought your patience was good.
Nah, man. Yeah. This guy, I actually don't. I kind of have a little short fuse. I don't really like. I'm more like passionate in my voice where I'll like kind of like I'll go up an octave, but this guy, he just stays calm, bro. Like he'll literally just be like, like he blows up. Like even just off of yesterday, he already forgot about it. All day I've been looking at this fight, looking at the tape, looking at the tape, and my dad's just like, son, just stop looking at it. Why don't you just stop watching it?
No, but she did come in one time, and it was this one was when he got to the point where that's enough. She was talking junk about my daughter, Mia. Oh, she tried to get to your family. She was good. And that was the one, when she started messing with my kids, especially my daughter, she pushed that button and it got me pissed. And so I walked up the stairs to my room and man, I just couldn't take it. The door was closed. And it's one of those doors that I had to just unlock it. I feel like, this is not good. I just put my hand through it.
Yeah.
And I put a hole in the door. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a good one. Let me see. Picture. Yeah. 911, he's violent. Mm-hmm. And the police came. And they got me on that one. They said that, I had to leave the home. But when I told them the story, they were like, well, somebody has to leave the home. And she's here with her kids, so you're going to have to go.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's nuts. She's just trying to
But you see what I'm talking
bait
about?
you into it. That's crazy.
You see what I'm talking about? Manipulation, mental, and physically and everything. But let's turn everything around. Let's put me in the position where I was doing all that. I would have been locked up a long time ago.
Just so I'm petty though. I would have keyed her car. I would have slashed her tires. I would have just done, and I would have done this whole investigation. Like, baby, we got to find out who did this. I would rob our own house. Like, yo, somebody keeps robbing us.
What kind of person is this that she knows what I do with kids, especially with a nonprofit that I'm helping the community with kids at risk, and she goes and tells the parents of the kids that I'm embezzling money, that I am not what you think what they think that I am, that I'm an alcoholic at home, and I'm an abusive.
That's crazy. You went through so much. I can't even imagine.
Dog.
I got it. What's this book called?
I walked on my own grave, a true crime story.
I'm about to read the shit out of this.
Yeah, bro.
That is nuts.
Yup. You can cop it on Amazon. I walked on my own grave. It was sold out for a little bit. They restocked them, huh?
Yeah, restocked them. It's coming in Spanish. It's coming out in español in December.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. That's so fucking nuts. I did not expect this at all.
Yeah, man.
You downplayed it quite well, my friend. I was like, this is nuts.
I guess for me, I've been talking about it a lot, and I also.
I
feel like I just watched the documentary right now. Like I'm like playing it in my head.
Yeah,
it's a lot more. I promise you. You're gonna. It's what. But people read it. I have people that have read it and they come up to me. They'll find me wherever they see me, whatever, and giving me hugs. Like, man, you need a hug, man. I gotta just hug you. And God, you went through so much.
Were you always like that though? Like, were you?
I think I grew up like that. I was, and then when I boxed,
I asked them the same thing.
When I box, people always tell me like, man, you always have so a calm demeanor. How can you be a boxer? And then when they saw me in the ring, like, oh, damn, hold up. Where you get that from? Is I can change. I'm a fighter. I can fight.
Yeah.
But I'm a cool, down to earth. I don't nothing. A lot of other than something happened to my kids and protecting my family, that's different. But hey, I don't look for trouble. But if trouble looks for me, I have to depend on myself. I can handle myself. But for what, man? I just be cool, respect people. People respect your back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like, there's so much stuff that happened within your life. I'm trying to collect these pieces together, and I just put myself in your shoes. And for some reason, I see the person not Mariel, but let's say this woman was with me. She would be dead.
She would be dead.
She would be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I could think. Or I would just disappear in a hot second. But once again, like when you're kind of stuck in an abusive relationship, you don't see the chaos, right? You're just dealing with the day-to-day things. And next thing you know, you're trapped. It's a week, then it's a month, then it's a year, then it's 2 years, That's fucking
And there
nuts.
was so much. It was finances, everything, man.
Did you know your pops was going through all this?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody knew.
When he called me, I didn't know what was happening. And then when he told me to sit down, again, I thought somebody died in the family, but he gave me everything. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, that's why you haven't heard from me. Like, I had to be in this hotel and I couldn't contact anybody. Excuse me. And nobody knew about it. His family, his mom, his job. Like, everybody was like, why? Like, where's he at?
Nobody.
Yeah.
I was taken out of the grid.
Yeah.
When they started putting like the makeup on you, did they lighten your skin up too to make sure like your blood was drained?
No, it was just just so the picture. It was one of those things
they
did that YouTube thing, and they were like, when I couldn't believe it, I was like, yo, man, she's not gonna fall for this. But apparently, well, obviously she did, but it was just one of those pictures that,
got him.
Yeah, she was something else, man. But
and that's her, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of people when they do these documentaries about me, shows like I've been on crime shows, a lot of the main crime shows. Even the producers are like, wow, this is incredible, man. It's like a Hollywood movie, man.
I can't believe her daughter didn't go to jail either because
she was. They couldn't find anything on. I guess when they investigated her, it was just nothing they can find on her.
Man, fuck those kids, dude. I'm sorry, man. Fuck those kids.
And they're to this day they're legally in this country. Her mother and her 2 kids are legally in this country because of me, and I can't file anything on them because they're American citizens and their mother's an American citizen. They're all still American citizens because of me.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is nuts.
Yeah.
And she's still in there for 15?
Well, she's been up for parole the last 3 years, and I've been having to write letters, and But yeah, she's been up for parole for the last 3 years, but she's been denied. No, so
wow.
but she took it. You know, her attorneys, they knew that she has the evidence against her was so.
They got nothing.
Too much. So they said, no, we just better take this plea because if you go to trial, you're gonna get life, you lady.
Of course, she's over here doing the Harlem Shake when she found out that you died. Like
she
pretty much damned herself.
Once they show the jury that picture, you're done. You know, they're like, oh hell no.
There's no emotional plea to that.
I live in a very upper middle class, mostly white old people. They're like, oh hell no.
Every picture
honey.
I see is just like she's just smiling. It just looks like she's like, I got me one.
Wow.
Yeah, she was good. She thought she was good.
It's so eerie when her mom just whispered that in your ear, like she's your problem now. It's like,
look, that's my dad's parents in the courthouse, watching the whole thing, and look at my sister.
And it was a packed park, but
poor thing, bro.
Let me finish up with this little bit right
the
here.
report after like the where was that at? Where they got me had the little interview.
Oh, that was in Houston.
No, I'm saying like in the courthouse or something.
Yeah,
like that?
The courthouse.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what happened. That's when she got sentenced.
Yeah.
And that's my attorney. It was a packed court. All the newscasts and all the news were there. All the different news media was there. And the DA asked me prior to her sentences, you can do a speech, but they gave me the grounds, what I could say, I cannot say. So I said, okay, I just prepared a little speech. So I got on there after she was sentenced. Not once did she ever look at me. Not once.
Yeah.
Packed, imagine this, a packed courtroom with everybody. And so when I got up there, I said, I told her, you know what, Lulu, everybody in this courtroom has made mistakes. There's not one perfect person in this room. I forgive you for what you did. And I can hear this, what?
Yeah.
It was like a,
yeah.
Everybody's like, what did you just say?
It's like, this man is not human.
Yeah. And so I but let me tell you why I did that. I told I forgive you for what you did to me. But I won't forget. Now you got to pay the consequences because that's how it is. Now, when you live with this bottled up, the whole time she was locked up, I had so much anger. That bottled up anger.
Yeah.
And I'm not that. You already know. You can see from my demeanor, I'm not that type of person. But I had developed so much anger inside of me. I mean, I was thinking retaliation. I was thinking about her kids if I see them in the streets. I was thinking about everything. I was thinking just bad thoughts were going through my head to the point where I had a friend that had guns, a gun collector basically.
Yeah.
He let me borrow one of his shotguns. I had a loaded 40 millimeter in my kitchen and another 9 millimeter loaded in my car. And that's how I spent every day.
Wow.
I slept with a loaded shotgun next to me.
Wow.
And that's how I slept. So I had to live like that. So when I sat there in front of that courtroom and forgave her, it was like all that air was just, and I was able to release everything. And it's like, it was just release of all that anger.
That's interesting because I've said this multiple times before, like forgiveness is never for the other person, it's for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
that's
like, it heals you.
Exactly what it did. Yeah. I mean, I will never forget it. But that moment right there what I did, it was like, I'm done with you. I'm done. Now you got to pay the consequences for what you did.
Damn. I'm always picturing myself like, damn, you're an interesting man. Because I would have stood up there as like, Lulu, let me tell you something. I hope somebody gets inside your sweet ass every fucking day.
Look,
and you can't do nothing about
it. All those moves that I taught you in the ring, all those things that you learned, you're going to be using them in prison.
Like, I hope you got that 1, 2, 3 down pat because people are going to be beating your ass for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And look, and this is how crazy. I don't know if I tell you this, Chris.
Don't touch
this one lady hit me up on Facebook. On Facebook? Yeah, she hit me up on Facebook and sends me a message. Hi, Mr. Sosa, this is such and such. This is why she was still locked up at the county, prior to getting sentenced. And she goes, my name's such and such. I was in the same jail cell with your ex-wife, with your wife, Maria. I'm like, what the? She goes, I just wanted, because she said that she was in there. She told me her little story, what she was in there for. And then she said, but, what's
She tried
interesting-
having somebody beat me
she
up
said-
for soup.
She said, what's interesting to me was like, she was telling me, well, Lulu in there, after I came out now, then I really know what's going on. We used to ask her what she was in there for, but she would never say. She would never say what she was in there. Nobody knew what she was in there for. It was always, but one thing that I noticed is that she became a trustee real quick, like everybody started, the officers and the what do you call the people, the COs, whatever. Mm-hmm. They all, kind of, gravitated to her, but she started manipulating these people in there.
But damn, she's so good.
Yeah.
She was the trustee in no time, she said.
Wow.
But nobody knew, nobody that was in locked
like
up.
how she get that?
Yeah. Nobody knew how. And she was always
Damn, she is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
And the lady goes, now that I'm out here and I see what the story is, now I understand what she was like that.
That is fucking nuts.
Read the book. You'll see.
Oh, I'm buying that book tonight on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's crazy because I feel like I just watched the doc. Like it's in my head right now.
Yeah, bro.
But there's like so many
Everybody
more
says
pieces
the same
to the puzzle.
thing, bro. Yeah.
Like I want to read this book so fucking bad now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it's a good read, bro. It's
quick.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
like
just
100 pages. Like
it's 168, but the thing is
no,
give me my 68. Give me my 68 back.
Oh, my bad.
No, but it's like because when I read a book, I wanted to when you finish a chapter, like, oh shit, I can't put it down. Let me go to the next one. Like a documentary, like that's how I wrote it. Where you can't just, oh hell no, I gotta finish. That's how it is. People are like, damn man, I couldn't put your book down there. Like I read it in one day.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't put it down. 2 days. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
Like I just pictured this kid coming at you, recording you, just telling you to get out of your own car.
Bro,
And
I
had no idea what was going on.
I wanted to whoop that boy ass so bad, bro. Messing with my dad like that. And then I know him. Like I know he's a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, why are you? Oh, that shit pissed me off, dude.
They're like taking advantage of somebody's kindness.
Yeah, bro.
And you're here legally.
Yeah.
And I would have so many conversations. I was trying to be a father figure to this young man. And say, man, you know how many people come here from Mexico and document it? I mean, crossing the river. I mean, just living dirt poor, trying to make it day to day to make it to where you're at. And you'd have none of that. None of that. You came in here and you have everything. You have a home. You have everything. You have a beautiful, everything these people fight for to get here, you have because of me.
Yeah.
And I'm, and you're gonna be like that towards me.
Yeah. That's nuts, man. Like that is so fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No, what's that? I'm not trying to figure out what this loser's doing now. Like it's like, what are you doing, you fucking loser?
No idea, bro. No idea. But
wow. I can't believe her mom was all in it too, like recording and shit.
Oh yeah,
like fuck that lady too.
Yeah, as soon as he pulled that phone out, they were like, "Oh shit, the phone." They were all. But then I asked, then when the cops came, I said, "Well, tell them to show you the whole." He said, "Oh no, they just show me," and then because he actually edited it right there on the spot.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, tell him they don't." I said, "No, tell them to show you the whole video."
Hey, but because my dad ended up staying with his mom during like the whole court thing and all this stuff. And whenever they said, my dad can go back to his house, he went back to his house, and my dad was there with cops too to escort him there. When he got there, his ex-wife Lulu had all of the family staying in the house. Yeah. Everybody was living in that house.
This is what happened. When she got arrested, her family from Mexico, her sister, the nut. She had come with her husband and her kids, so they showed up. And I wasn't there because I wasn't able to get back in my house yet. So they came to my house, and my house was like a hotel.
I would've been like, "Hey, bro. Time to get the fuck out!"
But this is what happened. Yeah. So I had because before that she was able to get me out of the house, legally. So my attorney was able to go to court and get it in writing that the papers where I can move back. That I got legal, my house. So I was like, that was another thing that happened. Me, Mundo, my uncle, and Mitchell was there, and my brother-in-law. We all got, I had some shotguns, and we were all loaded up.
Yeah.
And he was doing Mundo. And this is Mundo's idea. Say Mundo's always a shark. He goes, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to go to Home Depot and get new locks for your house, front and back. We're going to go to your house, and then you're going to call what's it called? People that locksmith, and you're going to tell them you can't get in your house." And he's going to open the door, and we're going to change the locks, and we're going to wait for them to come back. And I was thinking, what about if they're there? No, they're not going to be there. We're going to go there late. So that's what happened. We just got lucky. We showed up, and exactly, I called the locksmith, and I showed him my driver's license, that, you know, my address and everything. Okay, you know, he opened the house, and man, we changed the locks in the Mundo. Changed those locks in less than probably 5 minutes, front and back.
And they try to come in and like...
No, this is what happened. So sure enough, we just waiting. My house, they had computers, laptops with numbers with attorneys and all these, and luggages all over the house.
I didn't know about that.
Wow.
And it was my uncle. We were all loaded. So the daughter comes up to the front door and knocks on the door, and my brother-in-law goes like this.
Here we go.
That's what it got. And then he opened up the shades, and he goes, and Saulo goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "Oh, we just come to get our stuff." I said, "Nah, you can't come into my house."
Wow.
That's when I was pissed. And you're not coming. Nobody's coming in here. So then they ended up calling the cops.
Big Saulo?
Yes, I was there, but I was there. They called the cops, and then I called my attorney to see what we were going to do. And then the cop was cool. He said, "Man, I know we're helping on you. I know your case and everything. Let's just put the guns away for now, just to be safe.
Yeah,
put all the guns away. Let me talk to you guys." And then he talked to me. He talked to my attorney, and my attorney said, "Well, tell you what, Ramon, just calm down. I know you're pissed. Just calm down right now. Let's just let the people that came from out of town get their luggages." And the young lady, the daughter, the son wasn't that little bitch. He didn't show up.
Yeah.
He, of course, he didn't show up.
He didn't want that smoke.
So he said the young lady and the grandmother to come in and get one change of clothes. And I told Mitchell, my son, I said, "Mitchell, I want you, when they come in one at a time, I want you to record everything they're doing."
Yeah.
And the cop, the cop was there too. He said, "No, this is how we're going to do it. One of them is going to come in at a time. You guys just stand back, put all the guns away. This is what they just going to get their
Texas shit. Wow. When we get down to Texas.
Yeah.
Put all the guns away.
But at this time, they didn't know that Mundo was on my side. They didn't know that Mundo was the one that put all this together. Bro, you should have seen the look on her mother's face when she walked in and she saw Mundo. Just
wow. Wow. She was like, "Holy shit."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Her mom's a piece of shit too, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. You know what? Shout out to Texas, because that is dope. That shit would not happen in California, man. Yeah. Like, Texas is sounding extra nice to me right now, dude. Like, extra nice. The cops could come and is like, "You can still have your guns, but just put it away for now."
That's what he said. That's what I said. So yeah, just put them away. We don't need any trouble. Just
That is nuts, man. I would have just like, yeah, you could. I'll pick out the clothes. It's gonna be the ugliest, most mismatching shit. So you gonna wear this SpongeBob T-shirt, and you about to wear these fucking pants with the asses cut out of it. Enjoy.
And dress shoes.
And dress shoes.
Her brother-in-law, he tried to be slick, because I stayed downstairs. Mitchell was the one walking. My oldest son was walking behind him, and the cop recorded him. So this fool comes down like I didn't notice. He comes with one of those little. We had one of those little bags for the bank. The bank bags. I had one of those upstairs, and this fool comes down with one of the bank bags, and I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck? What are you doing with that? Who told you to take that?" He was like he didn't see him. This?
Oh, you trying to play real quick? This was like, I'm sleepwalking. I thought I was sleeping.
What?
Yeah.
He was like, "What? What's this? What, you talking about this?" I said, "Yeah. What are you doing with that? That's my shit." I said, "Put it down."
Yeah.
I said, "Put it down." I was talking to him like, "Shit, put the shit down."
Yeah.
"Well, this?" And the cop was, "What's going on?" I said, "No, man. What's he doing with my? That's my bank bag for my business."
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Would the cop be like, "Get the fuck out of here"?
You dumbass.
Of course. He's like, I didn't fucking know, man. Like, you better shut the fuck up and put the bank bag down.
I don't know, man. He just say chasse. What the fuck is chasse?
Yeah, chasse. Bitch, shut the fuck up. What the hell? That's so fucking...
It said Wells Fargo, so I go. Wells Fargo, so I say Fargo.
What the fuck? Chasse?
Chasse, dude.
Chasse? That's my primo.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I like how he's just playing dumb. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I had no idea.
I don't know.
And I forgot. I woke up here. Oh, shit.
It looked like my underwear.
I know. It's like, no, no, I put these on my head. Like, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is literally the craziest fucking story I've ever heard in my life. I can't believe you still have your sanity about you.
Yeah, man, I'm talking about laughing so hard, right?
That is nuts to me.
Yeah.
These people are such characters. Like human beings are so odd. Like I always tell people when people who live in very small bubbles, they never get to hear these type of things, right? So they think that every person that they meet is going to be a great human being, right? They literally see life through this small fucking lens. And sometimes too, like arguably when I meet people, they think I'm very cautious. Not that I'm cautious. I just grew up around a lot of shitty people. Like people who are so good at being likable. But a likable doesn't mean you're a good person. They're just very, very fucking good at manipulating people.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that.
And that's what she is. And that's what she was, exactly what she was. I mean, she was the type of girl or lady that she knows she looked good because she worked out.
And she's beautiful. I saw a photo of her.
Her job was just to look good. She worked out from the morning to the evening.
Yeah.
And then she loved to dress nice and everything. And this is how she got you, or to anybody. If you went shopping with her to the mall, one of the ladies that was on one of those shows even said, "Oh, I hated going to shopping with her because anything that I said I liked, she would buy for me. Anything. I mean, she would literally. And we had motorcycles. She had a Harley. She would go to places and somebody say, "Oh, I like that jacket." She would literally take it off. Here, you can have it. Here, you can have it. Oh, no, this belt, you can have it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You got nice teeth. Don't worry about this.
I don't need this one.
I don't need it. Hey!
But when she wanted something back, you would understand why. Oh, remember that?
Oh, tenfold.
That's what she did.
That's what I tell kids this all the time. Nobody gives shit to you in this world for nothing,
That's
right?
what she was,
bro.
Overly generous people that you just meet off the jump. I'm not talking about people that you create rapport with, right? Like the people who are like family.
Yeah.
That's different. They'll give the clothes off the back for you, right?
Yeah.
But people that you just meet that do that, be very, very
And
fucking
that's what
cautious.
she was.
Yeah.
I've had so many people that I know, personal friends of mine, right, that I've worn and I've seen they get fucked over so bad, right? And in their mind, they're like, well, I don't understand how this happened. I thought we were good friends. It's like, no. You took from them and they wanted something
Oh,
back.
yeah, definitely.
And you forgot that you got something, you thought you got something for free, but you did not.
Right.
Whether it was like a relationship, like some dudes would like be extra sweet to a fucking girl, right? And like, oh, this guy is just being nice. I mean, is he really or does he want something? What does he want?
That's definitely something.
You know? And then the other way, I've seen like, I know of a personal friend that got fucking Me Too, like in this industry from a very powerful person. And it was, he's a male and the other person was a female. And I had a conversation with him late at night. It was when we went to a bar and I said the same phrase. Nobody gives you that much without asking for something in return. And, you know, in his mind, he's like, no, we're being nice. And I was like, listen, you know what you're taking from this person. All right. And I was like, right now, you're taking a lot. This person is going to ask something back from you. Like,
Sure enough.
And sure enough, what it was a relationship. Didn't get it. And then his life kind of spiraled after that. And he's like, he was mad at it. And I was like, well, you know, fuck that person. But also, too, you weren't smart about your shit. Everybody told you that you were taking too much from this person. And that person got nothing from your relationship. Well, it was time to pay up. And you didn't do it. So now this person feels like they got gypped. So it's weird, right? Like people being able to really break down a human being is a difficult thing. Like it's hard. Like you need life experience. You need experiences like this sometimes to be like, oh, now I'm more cautious about this shit.
Oh, definitely.
That's why I get scared sometimes for these kids that just stay in a room and they don't talk to people. They get they're the first people to get fucked over because they haven't had enough human interaction. They can't pick up on small little behaviors like, oh, this person is a little fake ass. This person over here wants something from me. It's because they never met people like this.
Right.
Your situation though was unique. You actually met a psychopath. Like,
Exactly what I'm saying.
Like so good at what she does. Insane that she fucking fooled a whole prison. How? How is that? How's that even possible? Oh, there it is. It's like, get back into your cell, inmate. You sure?
and the same lady she manipulated with that. Later on, she came after all this happened. She came out and opened up to me, and she said Lulu had opened up to her about the situation with my car, with my vehicle. Then she said, I told her, but how come you didn't tell me? I mean, you shouldn't. I said, no, because I just don't like to get in between. And then we were very good friends. And believe it or not, I was believing everything she was saying about you. Obviously, I'm wrong, but I was believing everything.
Oh, my God.
And check this out. And this is another thing that blew my mind. She told me that Lulu had told her that she used to run a brothel in Mexico.
She was a big mama? Get the fuck
And I had no
out of
idea.
here.
And I'm like, what? Because, you know, Lulu used to me, she was an executive secretary for Ford Corporation in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And she, you know, that's what her job, and, you know, it was true. But on the side, she was a masseuse. She used to own a massage parlor. You know, like she owned a massage place, you know, whatever. And I said, damn, no, because she used to give me some good massage. Like, damn, she knows what she's doing. She went to school. She told me her degree, whatever. I mean, certificate. And I thought it was all legit. And then this lady told me that she had a brothel, that she had ladies that worked for her.
What in the fuck?
I never knew that one.
Let me tell you, this girl can survive. Like, no matter what, she's going to survive. Like, she's a succubus. She'll steal your soul. She'll steal everything from you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she probably have a book when she comes out. My side.
Yeah, my side of the story.
I walked on Ramon.
It's like, the difference is, I got video footage, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Fucking demon. That's a pure demon. Oh, my God. What kind of perspective does that give you on life?
Beauty, charm, and sophisticated, you know, mental.
Wow. She was I saw a photo. I was like, no, she's very pretty.
Yeah.
And she knew it too. She would walk into a room and she would get mad if people didn't pay attention to her.
Oh, shit.
And she saw somebody that looked better than her. She's like, look at that bitch with them fake titties.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Look at that fake bitch. That's a fake ass. Don't believe that. If I look like, what do you think that ass is fake?
I was like, it's fantastic.
And then there's another one she used all the time. I'm jealous of the wind that touches you.
What in the hell? Damn, she be making you feel special.
This bitch was genuine.
Yeah, that's a genuine line.
For real talk. She was poetic.
Damn, that shit made me feel good about myself.
Right?
She said, I'm jealous of the wind that touches you. Get out of here.
You finna go home and use that on your fiance, huh? Yeah. Hey, man, I'm jealous of the wind that touches you. You fuck it up.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of the touch of the wind that... Wait, huh?
Yeah, Mario don't even fall for that. She'll look at me like, you drunk? Get the fuck away from me. I'm like, that's my lady.
You know, Chris heard, but they wrote a song about me too.
Oh, no. All right, do your outro. Do your outro. All right, you guys.
We're closing now.
That's Genius Podcast. I'll do it for you. All right,
that's the Genuine Podcast. Oh, that's just fucking funny. Fuck. Well, hey, plug your book before we wrap this up. I mean, that story was amazing. Let me plug that book.
Please, if you get a chance, it's a great book. I went through a lot, but I'm grateful that people that have read my book and people that all the shows that I've been on and the podcast. What I want people to get from this is to learn from what happened to me, to please understand that listen to men especially that are listening to this show or this podcast, please. And if you're going through some kind of relationship where you're the victim of domestic abuse, just, you know, remember, you're not alone. You're not alone. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you a bitch. I mean, look at me. I'm an ex-professional fighter. I'm a fighter. I mean, trust me, I would put my hands. I mean, I'm not scared of any man. Yeah. But I would never, ever, ever put a hand on a lady. Yeah. I respect them, but it has to go both ways. Yeah. So my hope is that you know, if I can help somebody, if my book helps somebody, and if you know somebody that's going through some different difficulties with a relationship as far as domestic abuse, you know, if we find some crazy lady that like I married, you know, you can learn from what happened to me. You know. Yeah. Remember, you're not alone. That is. And one last thing, you know, take it from me. You look at life differently when you have walked on your own grave.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So you can cop my dad's book on Amazon. I walked on my own grave, and you could find me in my dad's book. I walked on my own grave. I guess there's some cameos in there, some photos and stuff, and
it gets kinky, but it gets it's real. It's raw. It's raw.
I'm having a message Chris like, hey man, I jacked off to your dad's book. I don't feel too happy about this, but that shit was nuts. I can understand why he got caught up in that web.
It was nuts and I nutted.
I know, it was nuts. I nutted. Shit was crazy.
It's raw. You know, but I mean, I'm real. I'm real about what happened to me, and that's how I want people to understand that it can happen to you like this, raw. You know, like don't think like you know.
Your fiance tries to read the book. She's like, why does the book jump from 27 to 30? Why are these pages stuck?
It's like, hey, don't worry about that. That's how it came. That's how I came.
I don't want you oh, damn.
Yeah, my dog. Hey, man. But yeah, no, y'all can catch me on all platforms at Cristino Sosa, Cristino. Your followers know me, so they know how to do their research.
Hey, we gotta do that plug, man. Damn, dude, you never even told your other story, huh? Damn,
Wait,
one day.
What story?
Your story.
The story.
The story.
No, I have. That's how they found me.
But you didn't go into the specifics.
Oh, I did that on my podcast.
Yeah,
huh?
maybe you did it.
Yeah,
for another
one.
Yeah. You can catch Genius Brain every Thursdays and Sundays, and we will catch you all next time. Peace.